Hey, you guys, welcome back to Naughty Love Movement. It's your girl, Nikki, and today I'm bringing opportunities for advertisement on my channel. If anyone is interested, they can email us at naughtylove2020@gmail.com. Our prices are affordable and reasonable, and please reach out to us. We can start our videos with any commercials that you would like us to advertise. I look forward to hearing from you. I'm out. One. Good evening, Naughty Crew. Thank y'all for joining me. This is a heavy topic, and so I want to start out the show with a trigger warning. I told you we're going to do the Naziah Harris story in multiple parts. This is a little Black girl lost and failed by her community, by her family, and it's just tragic. It has been a year since she's went missing. They have now had a preliminary hearing for her potential perpetrator, Jarvis Butts. And they decided to indict and charge him with the red rum of Naziah. So tonight we're going to get into it. She was 13 years old. She was pregnant. I believe that was the motive. I believe there is a cover-up going on amongst the family. I believe they knew and allowed Jarvis to prey on Naziah and other children in the family and in the neighborhood. I believe Naziah recruited friends. All right. And during the preliminary hearing, Naziah's cousin testified that she witnessed Naziah and Jarvis being intimate, so to speak. And Jarvis even propositioned her, but she said no. And so shout out to that young lady for having the courage to speak out up and reject this predator. Okay. So tonight we're going to get into a lot. This is going to be a longer live. We are going to hear from Naziah's father, biological. We're going to hear from Naziah's biological mother. We're going to also hear from one of Naziah's cousins, Roxy. And also Naziah's aunts, Shannon, and I think the other one name is Marquita or Marquetta or something like that. Okay. They are trying to go with this story that they didn't know anything was happening to Naziah, and I call bull swinky on the whole family. I think the whole family, from the mama to the aunties, should be locked up. Them children should be removed. But I believe there is a serious cover up going, and I believe there will be more people charged for the neglect and not protecting Naziah. Okay. Now, up here on the screen is a video of Naziah the day before she disappeared. She's doing a TikTok with her cousin, and clearly you see that she's with child. It's clear. So if we could see this just from the video and the way she's moving and things like that, how could them grown folk around her that was supposed to protect her not notice? I mean, she was 13 years old. She did not have a job. Okay. This story just breaks my heart, but I want to get the word out, like, because her body is still missing and she still deserves the honor of being laid to rest. Okay. So we're going to get into a lot this evening. We're also going to start getting into the testimony. And I'm going to start off with Naziah's aunt, who is baby mama to Javaris, and also her grandmother, her guardian and caregiver. And it's just like the lies people tell to cover up crimes, to cover up predators, to stick up for predators. Shannon, the baby mama, is still sticking up for Javaris. But she has 5 children with this pedo. She saw nothing wrong with the fact that he's been convicted, served time, and he was on the registry. And I draw the conclusion she's seen nothing wrong because she's a predator herself. Period. It takes one to know one. But these 3 poor excuses, a broke down, Teletubby, low self-esteem, disgusting predators, were supposed to protect Naziah. So here on the left in the blue, you have Naziah's aunt, Marquetta. Here in the purple, looking like a broke down Barney, you have Shannon, baby mother to Javaris Butts, the pedo sympathizer. And in the middle, you have who was supposed to be Naziah's not only grandmother, but guardian. This is the mama, the matriarch. I don't even know she deserved the title, because once you hear her testimony, you're going to be on the floor. So please like this video, share it out. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. We're going to get into a whole lot of content. But these 3 ladies right here, they need, I wish I knew their address, because I will ship them Jovi's book. They need Jovi's Beauty School. For real. Shout out to Jovi Beauty School. Go check out her channel. She's a great content creator. But she did write a book on how to know a man is playing you. And these 3 poor excuses for women need to read that book from front to back at least 10 times. But then again, they may not comprehend because they seem slow. And these 2 Teletubbies, blue and purple, are twins. Okay, child. All right. It's just a lot. A lot. And I've been on this and going down the rabbit hole deep. There was so many red flags. This could have been prevented. But what you are witnessing is the playing out of generational trauma passed down one to the next to the next. And it's never been resolved. Nobody has ever gotten help. And for that, they failed. this 13-year-old young lady. They failed her. Okay? And you will hear, because I'm going to go back. I like to take you back so we can build the foundation so you can see where the mindset is. Okay? We have the podcast by the name of the gentleman, 7 Mile Radio. Shout out to them. Everything we discuss here falls under fair use commentary. And on this one live, and I'm gonna try to skip around to go through it as fast as possible. Naziah's biological father came on and spoke up. Her cousin Roxy, who has been very vocal on social media about this since she went missing, and exposing the family and all the lies and the secrets and the cover-ups. You're also going to hear Shannon speak. And you're still going to hear her defending this pedo. It's disgusting. And she is still going to see him. I'm sure she's putting money on those books. Okay? Like, how could you? It's disgusting. It's disgusting. But I figured it out because I heard one of her cousins on the same podcast say that Shannon violated her. So it takes one predator to know a predator. That's why she don't see nothing wrong with what DeVaris was doing. They were allowing that man to sleep with Naziah. And I believe these three broke down ass Teletubbies was jealous of Naziah because she was beautiful, she was skinny, and she got their man. How could this 13-year-old? And that's what they care about more than anything. They don't care about Naziah, and you're going to see that. You're going to see that. They allow this predator to just prey on the children in their family. I say lock all of them up. Like this video, Please like this video. Share it out. Let's get the word out, okay? Now, Javaris is in custody. All right? And more charges are coming out. And I'll cover that at the end of the show. But for right now, before we get into this content, let me say what's up to the people. I also pinned the link just in case at any point any one of you want to come up and sound off. But all this whole family needs to be in jail right along with Javaris. They failed to protect her. And you're going to hear Shannon say that on this live. Hey, Couture Bay. Yes, please get these likes up. Hey, Marva. She's very much so pregnant. Y'all see it. This is the day before Naziah's disappearance. You trying to tell me ain't nobody noticed she was pregnant? She filling out that hoodie. Wait till you see her go to the side. You see that? She is round. Her face is full. Yeah, he hadn't registered since 2019. And that's my video from yesterday. One of the great aunts and the cousin spoke out and gave the basis of the family history and how they tried to fight to get Naziah out of there and her brother and other kids. And the family iced them out. Please share out this content. Yes. They just threw him a birthday party. It's a mess. Naziah was failed on so many levels here. And I'm passionate about this story because it's all too common. It's all too common. Instead of people speaking up and getting these children help with their trauma, they let it settle. And you know the end result of that, you get Javaris's running around. He has his own trauma. He started having kids. I think I saw a report that he started having kids at 13. What will make a young boy so hypersexual? Somebody violated him. And that's what, look, we're going to get into the family because the sister had testified. She actually went to the police herself saying that she spotted Naziah at the gas station those last days. There's so many inconsistencies. It's unbelievable to me. And shame on Detroit Police Department. They should be shut down. Okay? Because this has been reported and it was ignored. Okay? Also, one of the CPS workers testified. It's disgusting how many levels Naziah was failed upon. And to the judge that made the final ruling, we didn't get there, but have those children removed. Shannon does not deserve custody of those children, nor does Annette, the mama. Get them out of there. They are in danger. And it's obvious the adults in their household are not capable of making decisions, good decisions, when it comes to the welfare and the well-being of children. Please thumbs up this video, okay? So let's get into it. So y'all see this video? She clearly looks pregnant. Even the way she's moving. This poor baby. This poor baby. I swear. It's disgusting what they did to her. It's disgusting. And I hope they cannot sleep at night. So let's get into this live. All right. Shout out to 7 Mile Radio. He's been on this from the very beginning. This live is from 10 months ago. This is a few months after Naziah went missing. Okay. And everybody was calling in. And he's from Detroit. So, I'm sure he's popular there. Let's get into it. And I'm going to speed it up some. And I'm also I'm gonna be fast forwarding through it because it's a lot of areas like we don't need to hear, but I just want to give you guys context before we get into the testimony. Okay.
What you had to say as far as how you felt about the situation, and as well as about what as far as going on, as far as I guess I guess the conditions of the family that she was living in, and all of that. So I mean, what beyond what I just asked you, would you like people to know about the situation?
This is Naziah's father, biological father, speaking out. And just so you guys know, he is no longer with us. Okay. And I have a clipping about that too. Hold on. I should have started with this. So sorry, guys. All right. So this is Naziah's biological father. Okay, here we go.
Naziah Harris's father, Mervyn Jennings, passed away this summer.
Literally died of a broken heart. Unfortunately, he had congestive heart failure. He's already sick and got sicker going out looking for her.
I got a chance to interview her father back in March doing an exhaustive search for her in the Rouge River. And, he said he was out there every day searching for her, to find out then that he has passed away before he was able to find out this.
Okay. And my thoughts on that is too little, too late, sir. You a day late and $1 short. When she was created, when Naziah was conceived, he was in a marriage, and him and Naziah's mom was just messing around. I believe it was like a tricking situation because Naziah's mom was on DRUGSs and stuff like that. All right. And when she made the decision to keep that baby, sir, you made the decision to be an absentee father and not there for her. You abandoned her, basically. You basically handed over your rights to a monster who is her grandmother, Annette. That's the broke down Teletubby in the middle. Okay. And these 3 women, I'm telling you, they was jealous of Naziah because she was pretty. Because look at them. Out of shape. Could tell there's no low self-esteem. And you could blame it on the matriarch, the mama. She never taught them any self-worth or value. I'm telling you, they need to be front of the class at the Jovi Beauty School. Dead ass. They need to be front of the class. All right. So this is Naziah's father before he passed away, giving his thoughts on the situation. Now, granted, he did sign over his rights and custody to Naziah's grandmother. I guess I don't even know how to feel about it, but let's get into it.
Whether it be, like I said, about the family or you or what do you want the people to know?
I mean, I would take any questions if somebody want to ask. But as far as if we are moving forward to the grandmother of Naziah, I'm gonna move right forward.
Okay.
So
now, before we do that, though, I do see one question I want to address. Now, somebody asked, so did you cheat on your wife? Okay, and conceive?
yeah, obviously, yep. That is what it would be. Yeah, that is what it would be.
So you
that
did
was
that to basically protect her from knowing about her and gave her up to the grandmother. So at what point did she find out about your daughter?
So for one, when you put yourself on child support, they come out. I didn't know that. So they came out, and I came home from work one day and I had to have a total conversation with my wife. And what had happened had been done already. And that's how my wife found out, and I had to deal with it, and I had to deal with it.
So now, one thing that was in the back of my mind, as I was learning the history from some of the family of Lady, I guess that's her name, that's what y'all call her, whatnot. And her history.
I call it Chantel.
Okay, Chantel.
I call it Taylor Chantel. Yeah.
Chantel. Like I didn't know. I couldn't remember her first name. Like what was she?
They call Naziah's mom Lady, and also I think her name is Kenyatta or something like that. All right. So he's giving a little background of the relationship and how Naziah came about.
Like when you were with her, if you could give us some window into that.
We worked together. We redid homes, and she was really good at painting, drywall, and things like that. So I don't know if I was arguing at home or and I used to drink heavily, smoke weed and drink all day back then, and was probably led to some condition. So intoxicated, she was like a real cool person, like to work with, and I guess, under influence, one thing led to another, and the situation had happened. But Chantel was dibbling dabbling with drugs back then. I believe it was like coke. I think it was cocaine. She didn't do no pipe. I think it was just cocaine. But
did you ever use it with her?
Who was that?
You ever used it with her?
Oh no, I don't. No,
okay.
No, I ain't even that type of cat. So Chantel was bisexual. So, it was kind of almost like a party lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's what it was. Now, as far as when I talked to the grandmother, this situation has gotten a lot worse. Now, Chantel, Chantel had a son before Naziah. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So, I think, and you know what? All from the podcast, I don't know if I heard right, but Chantel might even be adopted to her mother. I don't even know. Now these are things that I did not know. I just did not know. So, and then on the other two kids, they like as they said, they all ran away when they were younger. So this is what I'm saying. All this stuff, I didn't even know. There was no communication or relationship like that. People make mistakes. People do things and they make mistakes, and you go on with your life. And at that time, if you do damage, and you have to learn and you grow, and you just have to keep going through life. And that's basically, and that's what it was. That's what it is.
Okay, one more thing that was on my mind to ask you before you get into your comments about the grandmother and whatnot. Like, so since you cheated on your wife and had Nevaeh, and you kept that secret from her to protect her, once you find out, she didn't say bring the baby home. Like, what was that? That was never a conversation as far as after she found out.
Yep, it was always a conversation. It was always a conversation. That was one of the main reasons I was taking bikes, clothes, whatever the baby wanted over there. And that's,
That's the reason why I was taking things over there, because I was having conversations about bringing her.
We were trying, so to get, to still be in the baby's life.
Okay, be involved.
When you make a decision, you just can't just automatically change it. Like, no, right. You just don't do that. So you show you can be there, and you show you can be responsible. And that's what I was doing. I was showing I could be responsible. I kept up my child support payments. To this day, they're still going. And so that's what it is. My wife is a very supportive person, and it's nothing that it was nothing on her. None of this is on my wife at all. She's a beautiful, supporting person, and that's what it is about her,
Dig it. Okay, so I guess with that being said, you can go forward with whatever the details is
Yep.
you want to share.
And he lucky. His wife, he don't even deserve his wife. She a good woman for sticking it out with this man that then ran around on her, created a baby on her. She better than me, child. Cause I'm asking you create a baby on me. I'm out of here.
About the family or the grandmother, the situation, your whole view of this situation right now.
Okay. So it's like when I was in the hospital and she was queuing me in on everything, she was telling me like the baby never ran away. This has never happened before, and she was seen running with some kids. So, we're going to find her and we're going to bring her home. And, now my family's asking like, well, are they going to do a police conference? And I'm like, well, mama said they were going to do a police conference. They're trying to schedule, it's going to be on this day. Now, mind you, this is like around the 9th or whatever. I believe it was the 9th when we was having these conversations. And I'm like, okay, so it was just kept on like, we were going to do this, we're going to do this. She even said, Chantel came down from Ohio that helped pass out flyers. And when she had gotten there, I said, we was talking. I said, well, how's Tail doing? She said she's not doing too good about it. And I said, oh, okay. And I left it at that, because, I know what type of state Telly be in. So I left it at that. But she was helping look for, as far as I know, they were passing out flyers looking. So as time going, it's just a whole bunch of, like, I would call mama, and I didn't want to bother her, but she was always be like, I'm tired. And yeah, maybe, and she's always like she seemed like the perfect grandmother. Well, that's what I used to go over there. Everything the house was immaculate. She was always working, trying to do something. The baby was happy, cooking, things like that. It was never and she's a God-fearing woman. So, it was always like a good vibe. So I respected her with a good vibe. You know what I'm saying? So
those be the ones, child. Them false prophets. They could dress it up real good. That's why you got to get beneath the surface of what they presenting to you, because anybody can present anything. And it's called love bombing. Okay, it's the same shit.
If she told me something, I really believed it. I would have never thought it would be so much shady stuff coming from her direction. And then they got twins. She has twins. They used to live with her. And so now, I guess one of them don't, one of them.
Guys, please like the video, share the video out. That's how we get up in the algorithm. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. I appreciate y'all being here with me. And I appreciate y'all patience, seriously. But I felt like this story was important enough to get out. Now, speaking of the news conference, let's take a pause right here. And you'll see I'll pause throughout this and make references so it could give y'all some context, okay? And I told y'all we're going to cover we're going to cover some of the testimony today or whatever, but here is the original press conference, all right? It says, point of view, Shannon's silent because she knows. I think they all know what happened to Naziah. Did the grandmother try to fake cry? And if y'all love her, why did it take y'all 24 hours to report her missing? Exactly. Soon as my child not coming through that door at a certain time, I'll give you up to an hour. Then I'm looking and calling and this and that. By hour 3, I'm calling the police. Look out of here. You mean it's okay for a 13-year-old to spend the night out? That shows the distorted point of view these fake ass adults have when it came to Naziah. She was nothing more than a check. Check this out, y'all.
To be late, she has never been late coming home. She's always got permission to do things.
Annette Harris is 13-year-old Naziah Harris's grandmother and legal guardian.
When was the last time that you heard from your granddaughter?
When I dropped her off at school, which was on January the 9th.
Naziah is an 8th grader at Clark Elementary School in Detroit, described as being incredibly sweet and a rule follower. Annette tells me when Naziah didn't come home from school on January 9th.
Question, and this is what I found odd. Why did the grandmother drop her off at school when there is school bus accessibility? Like when I took the school bus for school, I took the school bus there and back. Okay. The only time I wouldn't take the school bus is if like I had a doctor's appointment, I was going to be late for school, something like that, or I just completely missed the bus. Why wasn't Neziah on the bus in the morning and in the afternoon? It just puzzled me when she said that.
She knew immediately something was wrong and reported her missing the next day. Detroit Public Schools Community District's police department has been
Reported her missing the next day. So you mean to tell me you don't see no red flags about your 13-year-old come home, a girl that is routine and always come home?
handling the investigation. That's until Wednesday, when after a month of fruitless searching for the teen, Detroit Police Department announced that they're taking over.
We're very, very concerned.
Neziah is a very sweet child. She really is.
A month after Detroit Police Department decided to take over, I'm telling you, Neziah was failed on so many different levels.
You know, and my biggest fear is somebody hurting her.
We don't believe that initially there was an abduction.
Police say they don't believe Neziah was abducted initially, but when pressed, wouldn't answer if they think she went off with someone willingly. And that tells me that Neziah's school looked at the bus video from January 9th and can see Neziah getting off at her regular stop here.
She got off the bus with her schoolmate and walked up to the corner of Warren and 3 Mile Drive. And one of the school kids said that she turned right instead of turning left. And that's all I know.
Police say they are questioning everyone who knows Neziah. They're working with local, state, and federal partners to look everywhere.
If someone has watched Zaya is, what would you like to say to them?
Neziah's life may be in danger and you don't even know it because you're keeping information or trying to keep her here.
I think she lying. She's so emotionless. I think she lying. I think they all lying, Naughty Crew. I think they all lying, from her daughters to her. Because this is what I feel like they would help to cover it up. How is she going to explain how Neziah at 13 got pregnant? And so that also threatens her livelihood because she lives off the checks of these children because the state pays her. Motive, food for thought. Let's get back into this podcast. This is just crazy.
I don't know. I just know that's a part of the family that I don't.
So basically, you saying all of that to say that the picture was painted perfectly in your eyes, and it looked like nothing was going wrong, or nothing was ever wrong in the situation.
Ever wrong.
And when this particular situation came about, they're telling you that this is something that never happened, and they weren't worried about it as if they was expecting her to come back home anytime soon.
Right. No, correct. Now I want to say this. Now at this time they were dealing with DPS, that's the Detroit School System Police, right? So she had even explained that to me. So eventually when I got out, I didn't want to keep talking to her, but I wanted more information. So I got out of the hospital. I wasn't even supposed to be walking. I'm on a medicine that keeps my heart pumping. I wasn't even supposed to be walking. I got nurses calling me because they was concerned because the police.
And here's the other point I want to make. Why, when Neziah did not come home that next morning, didn't you go straight to the police department? Why would you go to the school? Make that make sense. That just doesn't even that's not even logic to me.
I'm out there, me and my wife passing out flyers, my sister, my son, my nephew, we out here passing out flyers. And I would stop over at my house and try to get, direction of where I should go, what's going on. And she would just come out. She said, oh yeah, we all passing them out earlier. And this and that. I'm like, okay, well, we're going to do this. We out there day and night. But every time we went, they were in the house. And then the twins, like, I know them. They never came out the house. So I was like, what's going on over here? So one day I went over there, or I was having a conversation with the grandmother. She said, I don't know why everybody want to ask where, Chantel got an older son. I think he's around 17, 18 now. They want to talk to him. I don't know why the police want to talk to him. He ain't got nothing to do with it. You see what I'm saying? And just her attitudes started changing.
Okay, so now you're saying that, right? Basically, you're saying all of that to say that you notice red flags about certain situations, and you probe them and ask them about it, and they act suspiciously. I guess to say, for lack of a better way to explain it.
Right. Now, when we were trying, I said, Mama, and after a while, I'm like, Mama, we done put these flyers up. All the kids that we talking to, they're saying they ain't seen, they know her, but they ain't seen her in 2 or 3 weeks. And I'm like, well, that's about when the thing happened. It ain't nobody seeing, but Mama telling me they seeing her running up and down the street. And I'm trying to keep calm. Now, after we go through, and I'm gonna jump right back you know, DPS and the Detroit Police Department, they do have a certain procedure and protocol on how they do things. If it's a runaway, I think they treat the situation different than a missing person. I don't know. Now that all this came out, I think she was reported as a runaway. You know, and I think that was set up like that. I really do. I really do think it was set up like a runaway for time purposes. And I'm simply saying that because I asked Grandma, I said, now look, Ma, you know, I just want to ask a few more questions. Let me tell you this. Now we was talking and she had told me the summertime, you know, oh yeah, she's straight A student. She even went to the summer school classes and everything. So they had said that I pulled up, well, a guy was at the school in a pickup truck and Naziah had went out there to the pickup truck. And the principal had supposedly went out there and said, who are you talking to? Who was that? Naziah turned around and said, this is my dad. So the lady was like, yo, dad. So when she started walking towards her, they said the guy pulled off. So the Naziah came back in. So I said, well, Ma, you know, I didn't know where y'all lived at. She was like, yeah, because we moved. I said, well, ain't nobody called me. She was like, well, we tried to call, the number didn't go through. I said, Mama, I was in the hospital so long, I don't even know where that phone was. I said, you know, so, and if anything, what happened, I would call you. She was like, I know you're very respectful. So I'm not thinking of the conversation. So we still talking. I said, well, what did she say? She said, she asked her, was that? She said, she looked at her and said, that's my daddy, Nana. And she was like, that is not your dad. And so I think she said she started crying or whatever. And she said, we'll deal with this later. So I'm like, okay. So now going back real quick. Now, mind I told you when we got out, we was passing out flyers. I would go over there and ask her, what area should I go in? He was like, well, go down there to Chadsworth, on Chadsworth. So I guess the back of the school sits on Chadsworth. I said, well, why would I go down there on Chadsworth? She was like, because that's where Naziah walked through the field and met with that guy at the truck. I said, so she walked through the back of the school, Ma, and walked through the field? You know, I'm trying to figure out. She was like,
say all of that to say that they
the
knew
story's
that she was possibly dealing with somebody out of her age range and was not doing nothing about it?
No, I'm about to tell you some more stuff. I just wanted to give you that scenario. Now, Naziah is smart, okay? If that was the case, I believe she was covering up for somebody. He didn't want them to get exposed. Now, as I listen to your podcast,
is over age,
that she knows. Yep, that she knows. And they're not her age. Now that I listen to your story, and it's like,
I believe it. I believe there's a cover up, and I believe there was a whole pedo ring going on in this household, and they were letting Javaris just prey on all these young kids. It's disgusting.
This guy who's one of the twins' boyfriends. You see what I'm saying? And this guy's supposed to have all this sexual misconduct junk and all this nasty stuff. Okay, you know, red flag. Yeah, I believe that's him. I believe it's him because I don't know none of this. I don't, you know what I'm saying? So I don't want to say it's this guy, but I believe it's him. I just heard about this yesterday. So now before all this, me and mom was having a conversation. I said, well, Mom, well, how did you manage? You know, she said, well, I think Shan, one of the twins, her man would pick up the kids from school sometimes, take them up to his shop, and they would clean up and work up there, and she would go pick them up. So I'm thinking like, well, maybe this is the guy she was protecting. Just before I even know.
This is why they have knowledge. They allow Jarvis to pick up these kids, knowing he is a convicted pedo. Disgusting. Lock all of them up. I swear, lock all of them up.
Oh, this guy was a pedophile. So, you know, I'm like, okay, Ma, you know, we need to look into that. She was like, no, because he ain't with her no more, you know, or whatever that she might have said, you know. So I'm like, I'm thinking in my head, like, okay, but now I listen to your podcast and I'm putting two to two together. So your podcast, I listened to that last night, right?
Right.
That night I texted the grandmother. I said, oh my God, I can't believe you. I said, twin, you know, like this shit really hurt. I said, y'all sick over there. I said, 7 kids, like 5, we just got 7. You know what I'm saying? But I asked Mama before I sent them text, who is Jarvis? You know, this woman sat up there, act like she ain't know who he was, and then was like, that's Sam's boyfriend. I said, well, is that the one that got in custody? She was like, look, her voice.
She is a liar. She is a liar. And you're going to see when she takes the stand, she lied right through her teeth. Child, thumbs up this video. Share this video out.
That real uppity.
This is Naziah's biological father speaking. He is no longer with us on this earth. He passed away due to congestive heart failure. Okay. But prior to his passing, and when Naziah first went missing, he was calling in on his podcast, okay?
Then she was like, look, I'm not saying nothing. The police say people gonna say things when you get out here, they're gonna, and don't believe it until they come back and tell you what's what. But I've been asking you the truth about these situations. and you haven't been truthful not once. You know what I'm saying? Now she go back and tell the police, my daughter has been running away. But you tell me she has never done it before. I mean, it's so many things
Yeah,
that's not added up.
I mean, and that's the thing that I'm hearing from a lot of people as far as, and I'm not here to throw nobody under the bus. I'm just discussing the things that I've heard and things that that I see. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people are
Right.
saying that the story from the story from the person that it's coming from is switching up, like, you know, left and right, up and down. You know what I mean? So I don't know. And then, so when I'm giving the information that I'm heard, it may, I mean, that I'm being told, it may sound like my shit is up, down, left, and right. You know what I mean? But
Right. But I mean, coming from the grandmother, man, this should be on point. Period.
and
A grandmother.
I'm gonna say this. You know, I actually obtained a contact number for the grandmother, and I called her not long ago, less than 2 hours ago, and I reached out to her, you know, respectfully, and said, I'm Mark Deason, Selma Radio. I'm a citizen journalist, I have a independent media outlet, and I've been kind of covering the story over the last couple of days, and I wanted to reach out to you to see if you want to have a conversation and share your piece on what's going on. You know, I mean, I'm unbiased. I'm not the police. I'm not. I'm a citizen journalist. I'm not even the mainstream terrestrial news corporate outlet. You know what I mean? So I was just giving her a platform to, to speak, and to me personally, she sounded a little, I don't know if it was worried, disgruntled, or whatnot, but she declined my offer to speak and got off the phone real quick. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. She ain't trying to deal with none of this, man. I'm telling you. That's why I didn't even want to ask her questions, because her demeanor was off. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to respect her. She has always been, when you say grandmother, I'm talking like a respectable person. I don't even need to know what all this stuff, all the adoptions and all this stuff.
She is covering up for her daughters and Jarvis, but she is covering up. The grandmother, the daughter, they're all covering up for him.
It didn't even seem like that was in that category. It's like she's been adopted.
From what I hear, the grandmother, I don't know how true it is, right? But everybody, 2 other people was telling me they don't know how she ended up with not only your kids, but the other 7 kids under the age of 10 that's in the house right now, because she in fact lost her kids to CPS when they were younger. Her 5 kids, they all ran away or something like that. But that's just a story that I'm told. So
Right. Oh my God.
But yeah, man, like I said, man, I really just wanted to, like I said, hear, how you felt, you know what I'm saying? See, how you was doing, and give you a platform to speak, and ask you a couple of questions, because the main concern, from even me, me was like, where's her dad at? Like, where's he at all of this time? Just wanted to give you an opportunity to speak and tell everybody what it is that you was going through in regards to all of this.
Oh yeah, I appreciate it, man, because when I do talk to police, you only get you listen, and you got to let them do their job. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate the Detroit Police Department. I do appreciate DPS, because when Detroit stepped in, bro, all this stuff started moving like clockwork. You know what I'm saying? When Detroit Police got the case, everything started moving like clockwork. I want to get like Tamara.
Let me tell you something. I don't give kudos to Detroit Police or CPS, because allegations were made, people reported things, and nothing was done. Nothing.
For that police commissioner, she has been overly outstanding. Eric from the 300, my sister Kelly Stein, she has been networking, doing things, and I appreciate it. I mean, I'm talking about Eric called me for the 300, called me at night. We got to talking. He said, "Hold on, we talking to the deputy chief, trying to get answers through." I didn't even know they worked that night like that, So, and I really do appreciate it, and I really do think if it wasn't misled, I think a lot of stuff could have been done a lot faster. I really do think the whole situation was misled, like she was a runaway.
They are doing that on purpose, giving misleading information, because either they have participation in the situation of her disappearing, or they're covering up, and they know more than what they are. Why say she was a runaway? Why? Because if she's found, they're going to notice that Neziah is pregnant. Why go to the school first and not Detroit Police first? So it took Detroit Police 30 days to get involved, because she went to the school first. And I think the school had their own police. Like, why do you keep trying to throw off this investigation, ma'am? You are not acting like you are concerned for Neziah's well-being. What you're giving is you're pretending like you care. And we heard from the aunt and the cousin last night. They mistreated Neziah. They always talked down about her, picked apart her looks, and it's because they were jealous. They were jealous that Jarvis wanted her and not them. That's what it's given.
And to cover up some real sick stuff that was already going on over in the house.
Yeah, that's kind of up the lane that you know, somebody else said. You know what I mean? As far as same thing that they said, man. So, but yeah, man, I'm gonna give you a break, sir. I'm not gonna keep you all night, man. I'm gonna let you know, let the call-in line breathe a little bit. Everybody is discussing the comments, you know, the conversation we just had. So you can go check that out while I prepare to open up the phone lines for the grandmother's cousin, who is very
Okay.
adamant about speaking about this situation. So, like I said,
Right.
man, I
Right.
appreciate you. I appreciate you sharing your thoughts, man. And I don't appreciate you sharing your experiences because I don't.
So the cousin is coming up. Up next is going to be Roxy. Okay. Now, Roxy, she's been vocal about this from the very beginning. Hold on, let me
I appreciate you going through this, brother.
and
I'm glad that
she
you
Oh yeah.
sound mind enough to, and you know, hard enough to speak with us about all of this right now.
Just like me, I need to stay under the word of God. You know, when you make.
Early that you with now, that you still that, you know, you still with from back then.
Oh yes, yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
as beautiful as and as wonderful as
Everybody that's saying stuff, you put them out here.
All right, let's get into Roxy because Roxy has been loud and vocal. She did an interview with Nazia's biological mom. Hold on. Okay, here she is. YouTube is putting me in punishment because I haven't been consistent. Here is Roxy. She is a cousin, and she's been very vocal about the situation with the family and things like that. And she had a one-on-one with Nazia's biological mother. Now they're saying Nazia's biological mother, who is they call her Lady in Kenyatta, I believe. She is on DRUGS's real bad. And here's her side of things.
They was just on there like you ain't give a fuck, but you did, you know.
I mean, I love my daughter. I mean, it can't be measured how much I love my daughter, and I'm still holding on the fact of and the possibility and the faith that she is still living,
Right.
regardless of what the news and everything say. I don't do the publicity. I don't do, you know, people's platform or however they want to benefit off the situation. My concern is about my daughter, and just because people doesn't see my face or see me all everywhere like some of my, you know, family members be, you know, that doesn't mean that I'm not involved and I'm not trying to keep up with what's going on with my daughter.
Right.
You know, and that's much I got to say about it to anyone. You know, I don't have to show my face all on the news or, you know, be all on everybody's podcast and all that. I don't have to do all that for somebody to feel that I'm involved with what's going on with my daughter.
Period. Period, boo. See, they don't know. Letty can build a motherfucking house while they all on Facebook.
From the ground up, you hear me?
Yes, I have multiple skills.
Period.
Very intelligent and got them hands. Stop playing with Lady.
Period.
It is killing me. Nobody knows how I feel about this because it's not them. It's not
right.
they. No one knows how I struggle every day just to get through day by day. And I try to still be a mother because I do have a son. So it's hard for me, and I try not to get wrapped up in the bull crap. I just try to keep it about the facts and the investigation and what's going on with my daughter. All the other shit is irrelevant to me.
Yeah. Well,
but I want
from me to you, you know, I love you. I love you to death. You know that. Always have and always will. You know, but I'm doing the best that I can.
And I thank anybody else who's reached out and who's involved themselves in the search, involved themselves as far as passing out flyers from the beginning, and still continue to be. I thank everybody for that.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. We pushing through. We gonna keep pushing until we get, you know, justice for her and the answers that, you know, Nazia deserves, and you know, as well. So
yeah,
you deserve that, and she deserved that. So I'm definitely, you know, doing my part to get, excuse me, to get that for you.
I appreciate that. I mean, I can't tell you how much I appreciate that.
I'm sorry, I was on mute. So that was Nazia's mom, the last picture that came up. Let me pull it up again. This is her right here. She's a beautiful lady. And even Nazia's dad says she was very handy and stuff like that. But what they're saying is she was also too violated at the age of 13. This seems to be a theme throughout this family's trauma, right? Nazia's grandmother, she was pregnant at 11. All right. And they're saying that due to the trauma that Nazia's mom went through, not only did she run away and she gave up custody of her children, she started coping by using substances, which is all too common when it comes to unresolved trauma. People turn to substances. All right. So y'all had a chance to hear from Nazia's biological father, who sadly is no longer with us, and her biological mother and their perspective of things. You know, I just think Nazia's mom is a direct result of family trauma passed down and unresolved trauma. All right. So let's get back into the 7 Mile podcast. Please thumbs up this video, share it out. This is just a tragedy on so many levels, and so many people felt Nazia. Okay. Let me see where you at.
It's a mess. It really is.
The other side of the, I'm confused. I want to say the other side of the family, but maybe not. But from somebody who we weren't in the same room with, me and you and this person wasn't in the same room. So I'm hearing that same story from somebody else. And when you told it to me yesterday,
that's in custody family, because he has.
I'm kind of going through a situation with CPS where I'm, fighting for my son on some different level type shit. So I just kind of feel for this whole.
And they have been there for me, and they've been a good.
Like I said, you go ahead and get some rest, man, because I don't want to put no more stress on your brother than you already have.
Thanks, man.
And I'm like I said, open up the phone.
Reach back out, man.
Oh yeah,
Reach
man.
back out.
Come on, bro. I'm gonna stay in contact with you. Check on you every once in a while and see what's up, man. And this definitely, like I said, kind of dear to my heart because I'm kind of going through a situation with CPS where I'm, fighting for my son on some different level. Same story from somebody else. And when you told it to me yesterday, right? When you were telling me the story, I kind of finished the story for you when I asked you. So how do I know this? Right? Remember that part?
Right.
So it has to be some type of a truth to it, is what I'm saying.
Right. There's a whole lot of truth to it. It's just sad to me that people. I would have never, ever, ever, ever in the middle.
What you did was call my personal phone. You were supposed to call the number you was texting before. That's the call in line. Okay. All right. Look, Kenya ready. She's ready.
All right. This is her cousin Kenya.
This one right here. Yeah, y'all better go pour y'all cups. Y'all better go pour y'all cups for this one. You know the call line up.
Oops.
So I'm just waiting on that. She gonna call me first. What's happening, Kenya? Kenya.
Hold on. Let me. What the heck happened to the screen? Sorry, guys. I gotta fix it. Oh, there we go. All right, this is Nazia's cousin, Kenya. Kenya and Roxy have been very vocal. This is about 10 months back, you guys. This is when Nazia first went missing. Let's get into it.
Yes.
What's going on, sister?
First and most, I want to say I don't mean no disrespect to my family, and let alone the person that's in custody family, because he has more. He's got 20 children out there, so I don't mean no disrespect to them because I know they're listening as well, right? What I will agree with Nazia's father is that I would have never expected in a million years that my cousin would be involved in a situation like this because she covered very well. And when I tell you I would sit over there, kick it with her.
Y'all heard her. Jarvis has 20 kids, child. And I ain't even get to the part where he gave a 4-year-old a STD. He's disgusting. He's a predator. He's like the worst kind of predator. He don't care who he put that peen in.
Never suspected anything. I mean, I've been rubbed the wrong way by some people that she had over there, and I asked her about it. But I would have never, ever, ever, ever in a million years would have thought that cousin was involved in this kind of a situation here, to where she didn't protect children.
So that's
what I will.
Go ahead.
Huh?
No, go ahead.
What I will say is that a cousin came to me and told me some things. I got some things verified by another child that I spoke to, so she verified the story. So once she verified this information, I then went on Facebook in September and posted about things that was going on over there at my cousin's house with the twins' children's father. I posted his picture, and my family is so blindsided that they didn't even see the big picture that I was posting. They was just upset that I was posting it.
So the post is the post that you're talking about the one where that I added to the screen yesterday where it says can't sweep.
Oh no, sir. No, sir, that was in January. I started posting about this molestation stuff in September. That was going on over there. And I was going back and forth with the twins about it. Like, y'all got a whole child molester over there. What's going on? So this is a shock to just know that she knew about it. They all knew about it, covering up. They even had the children lie to the police about a situation and change their story so the children's mother wouldn't have to raise the kids on their own, and she was more worried about not having help with the kids and him going to jail. And just recently, from what I understand, she's going back and forth with another female about him on Facebook, about who man he belonged to, who's the main chick for him.
Now, the crazy thing about that specific situation that you're talking about that involved the kids, I don't know if you care or if we even really need to get into the details of it, but that same exact situation was laid out to me by someone else whom is on, well, I want to say the other side of the, I'm confused. I want to say the other side of the family, but maybe not. But from somebody who we weren't in the same room with, me and you and this person wasn't in the same room. So I'm hearing that same story from somebody else. And when you told it to me yesterday, right, when you were telling me the story, I kind of finished the story for you when I asked you, so how do I know this, right? Remember that part?
Right.
So it has to be some type of a truth to it, is what I'm saying.
Right. There's a whole lot of truth to it. It's just sad to me that people will get more upset about exposing pedophiles than being upset about the children that are being damaged and their careers and their life is being changed forever.
Facts. They so worried about having a red bone man on their arm and getting consistent peen. They not even protecting the kids, not even their own. It's like, come on now. These women are desperate. They happy someone like a Javaris comes along and picks them, okay? Because they already have low self-esteem and no self-worth and no value. They don't know how to stand in their worth. And you could blame the mama. She never taught them how. She just taught them how to protect predators ultimately and to involve themselves with bums. So this is the cousin Kenya speaking out and laying out what the House of Horrors was really like, because that's what I believe this was. Clean or not. Just because a house clean, that don't mean there ain't no effed up stuff going on around here, okay?
Because grown adults are more protective of adults that are hurting children. And in my mind, when you do that, when you know this is going on, you need to go to prison, just like that pedophile need to go to prison. They need to throw her under the jail and the two other ones under jail. All of them need to go.
I see a question.
I agree. They need to throw Nazia's aunt, grandmother. I believe they all deserve jail time.
Comments that asked, why didn't you call the police in September?
Why didn't I call the police in September? It wasn't about me calling the police in September. It was about me establishing what was going on within that family, because I don't go over there. So the information was fed to me, right? The information that was fed to me that I checked up on and confirmed. So that child, I asked her mother, well, what happened when went to the police, and she said, well, the police did not press charges because the children was forced to change what they said had happened, so he wouldn't go to jail. So I don't have no proof. I could just tell the story of what happened and how we got there.
Yeah, if the kids
That's
are
why.
not going to back it up. But now this is something else that you told me though. Now, you and this other person told me that I guess it was somebody asked the kids, did it really happen? And they said yes, and the reason why they lied or whatnot.
Yes, they were being forced to change their story. So that individual wouldn't go to jail. So that mother would still have him around to help her with the 5 children that she's had by him. So they forced them babies to change the story, so he wouldn't get in trouble.
So you say all of that to say that there's a track record of them knowing detrimental shit happening and them covering it up.
Oh yeah, absolutely, 100.
How is it that Jarvis is so much of a help to you when he has predatory behavior and you know it? And I believe he was using his mechanic shop as a place to have his little personal freak offs, okay? So how was he of so much help? What, picking up the kids and stuff like that? Like, child, please.
100%. When that little girl, my little cousin, confirmed what had happened with that grown man. Oh, so they over there covering stuff up, and then that's when I blew up and put it all on Facebook for everybody to know. They covering for sex offenders over there. So that's why I didn't go to the police, because if my cousin took her daughter to the police station and told them, and they said, well, man, we can't do nothing because these kids are saying, it didn't happen. And you got to understand, my cousin is very stern. She is of my grandmother. She grew up with our parents. My grandmother had 9 kids, so she grew up within that realm. And she was one of them ironclad grandmothers. So some of my cousin's tactics come from her.
Man, I just don't know what to say about this. This is just...
It's a mess.
It is a mess. And this whole thing reminds me of the Antoine Fisher story. You know, when he got placed in foster care, and the foster mother's daughter, every time her mom left, would essay him, and force him to do things. And that's what these 3 broke down Teletubbies remind me of. The daughter from the Antoine Fisher story. The daughter of the foster mother. Oh, I tell you guys, like when that movie ended and he was able to confront those predators, I was like, yes. And this is what these 3 monkeys need. These 3 broke down ghetto ass Teletubbies need. Some confrontation. They need to take accountability for their decision making.
Yeah, it really is. This could have been prevented.
If you was to take a shot in the dark, right, and you was to, have your theory on where she is right now, or what happened to her, what is your theory, and what does your heart tell you happened?
Ooh-wee. I don't know if I really want to answer that right now, because I want the best for Isaiah. I want her to be alive. I want her to be well. But they had time enough to do whatever they needed to do. If they did do something, they had time to figure out what to do. They had that time. So I don't want to put that on my little cousin that she's not here any longer. But it seems that way. And it seems that they had enough time to do whatever they needed to do. And now she's gone. You know what I mean? So for my family's sake, for my bloodline, I love all my peoples, but this right here could have been prevented if everybody would have opened their eyes, because a lot of my family members are still sleeping. Their eyes are not open at all. This situation didn't have to happen. But now that it has happened, maybe this will have other families rethinking how they are handling pedophiles, child molestation. Maybe this is what needed to be. Maybe this is what needs to happen to bring more awareness to our children being hurt by grown men and mothers and aunties hiding it and thinking it's okay, because it is not okay. It's not okay to keep passing this trauma down and down and down. It's not okay. It's not okay. This could have been prevented.
Yeah, it absolutely could have been prevented. I mean, just like every other situation that we see like this on the news, you know what I mean? And just like I said, yesterday to you, unfortunately, we all know that this is, I want to say probably not going to be the last, but we know it's not going to be the last one. You know what I mean? And
People got to wake up.
and part of the whole point of me being so involved in this, because I see the importance of exposing the corruption or the neglect in the system in regard to CPS, or even the family system, the family structure. We know there's so many things going on, and not in everybody's family, right? Now, they know it doesn't happen in everybody's family, but we know in a lot of
Right.
people's families, there's that uncle or that cousin or whatever, whoever, sometimes that auntie, right? That that has inappropriate behavior around the kids.
Yeah.
Keep the kids from around when Uncle Johnny come over, type shit. You know what I mean? So, as opposed to sweeping this stuff under the rug, right? We need to be proactive as opposed to reactive and wait until tragedies happen and try to run around like chickens with our heads cut off, trying to figure out what happened and why it happened and what we can do to prevent it. When we all know and see the red flags in the beginning, and we give situations the benefit of the doubt as opposed to the consequence of the doubt. You know what I mean? And we end up suffering the consequences like we are right now.
Yeah.
So that was the whole point of me. Like I said, just kind of involving my platform in this because I just seen a need. You know what I'm saying? Just like any other time where I see a void, I try to fill it. So this is just, I feel like it was a need. This conversation was needed. This situation, I don't know, it's heartbreaking. It's hard to even talk about. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, has to be talked about. Has to be discussed. So I mean, I don't know if it's what else more to say about it. You know what I mean? We need to find her, whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? We need to get some resolve to this situation. And I hope, like you said, that she's somewhere safe and turn up because it's crazy out here. No teenage girl need to be out here with people that it's not her family and mean her no good. You know what I'm saying? So
well, only her own family didn't even save her. So her own family didn't even save her. Her own immediate family didn't even save her. They let it happen. It's their fault, and they need to go down the drain just like anybody else. And we family, but it is what it is. So to all them people out there that's praying for Nazia, I thank you. For all y'all that's praying and hoping that she be safe, I thank you. And for those that don't understand what's really going on, I hope you wake up. Because it can happen to your loved one. It can happen to your family member. And if it is happening to your family member, be that black sheep. Speak up, because I don't care about none of my family not liking me. Because I speak up on things that need to be spoke up on. I'm not scared to say nothing. So if you continue to be scared and not speak up, things will happen, and they will continue. But somebody got to break that chain. Somebody got to stop it.
Yeah, just like I told the dad. Yeah, about to say, just like I told the dad, I appreciate your time and your comments and sharing your thoughts and emotions on all this. Because this is a wild one right here.
Yeah, and had he been a dad, and she's very, very smart. So had he been a dad, there's no telling who she could have been. Very smart, very sweet little girl. I always hugged her every time I saw her, getting A's and B's in school. I never saw any fastness in her. None. But some things I've been hearing over the last year, I've heard some things.
Now, real quick before you go, because I'm seeing a reiterating statement that's flowing through the comments. How do you feel about people who feel like you are a part of what failed her because you knew what was going on and you didn't do enough? You didn't call the police.
Well, I'm not a part of what failed her. I didn't fail her. All I did was put the story out there. I didn't even know that anything was happening between her and a grown man. I found that out just through hearing and watching. I didn't even know no part of that because I didn't even think that she was involved in anything like that because of how sweet and how smart she is and she go to school. She just didn't even seem like she was that kind of little girl. But I mean, when you got pedophiles around you and doing this and doing that, you change in a blink of an eye. So I knew nothing about that. Had I known something about that, I would have reported it. But again, we got other cousins in the family that's called police, that's called CPS on the situation. Now, CPS and the police kind of failed her, not me. Because had I known, I would have made that call too. But I didn't know.
I agree.
Well, yeah, man, I ain't gonna stress you out about it because it's enough. It's a stressful enough a situation by itself. You know what I mean? So,
and that she didn't report it. We need to make it very clear. We are the extended family. We all know how that goes. Okay, your main family is the mama, the sister, the brother, the cousin. We are the extended family. Okay, Kenya doesn't have a problem saying anything and putting it on Facebook way back in September when she did. Now that Facebook has also took down her post because they reported it to take it down. The information was brought to Kenya because the person who brought the information to Kenya didn't have the balls enough to say anything, but Kenya did have the balls enough to say anything. Kenya put it on Facebook to expose it to everybody, but it was reported to CPS, to DPS for years, i.e. the caption that you put up saying 40 years of CPS. This has been going on, and that's how long they've been hiding this shit. So it has been reported to CPS. It has been reported to DPS by several people that it has happened to in the family and who knows about it. But she hid the shit so well that we wouldn't even have known. It's several people that's been around them, and like the daddy said, she presented herself to be a God-fearing woman to where you wouldn't have known any fucking thing.
You know why this resonates with me, and I'm just gonna touch on my situation just so we can relate. And I'm not trying to make it about me in no way, form, or fashion. But I just had a newborn son, to whom with a woman who I just found out has 10 plus CPS investigations.
Right.
So why the fuck
And
am I
you
struggling so
had
hard to
no
get my motherfucking son and shit? You know what I mean? So,
yeah, so everybody's understand how come Kenya didn't say nothing. Kenya put it up on Facebook. She put his information on there that he was a sexual pedophile, registered active pedophile. She put on there when he got arrested that he got Shannon pregnant, that she got 5 kids by right now as we speak. And all of that. It has been reported. But when we around, the extended family is around, she covers that shit up. You would never think it. So it's been reported. It was reported by
people create a whole nother person that like the people got it's beyond a mask. People have a whole bodysuit.
Right, but this is the thing. The person that's coming to Kenya about it is the one that needs to speak up, because Kenya has been the one that's getting the backlash behind it. But the person that's bringing it to her, Kenya is only, she looks like she's the face of it, but she's really not. She's just bold enough to speak on it.
She's just the whistleblower. She's the whistleblower.
Right. So pretty much, the messenger, and she's getting the backlash of it. But the person that's bringing the information to her is the one who should really, come out and say something. And they're probably not going to, and no shade to them. But at the same time, Kenya is the one that's getting the backlash of it, and she really shouldn't. So now people looking at her crazy, talking about how come you didn't say nothing and you knew something.
Because I guess right, like if somebody was to say something, somebody was to call CPS or mention anything, and they go over there and they are painting this picture that they're the Huxtables over there.
Right,
with no other indication. But then there's the breakdown in the system, right? Because if the grandmother lost her kids to CPS, and how does she even have
exactly? We had a brand new cousin that was in foster care that got found. She took her daughter over there for the first time, and her daughter came back and told her mama that the pedophile man that everybody is talking about approached her and told her and asked this little girl, I think she 11, 12, 13, somewhere around there, asked her to perform fellatio on him. And she went back. That was her first time going over there. That was reported. What did CPS do? Nothing. What did DPS do? Nothing. This shit has been reported.
So the focal point of this is really to break down in the system, right? Because the family, because here's my thing. Like, I'm a testament to this, and this is the reason why some of this hit so home on with me, because I'm doing the same thing with no results. Right? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Relying on the system, with somebody who painted themselves to be something completely different.
Exactly. We're supposed to be able to rely. We're supposed to be able to rely on them. What the fuck we paying y'all taxes for? Y'all ain't even doing y'all goddamn job. But everybody want to jump on her, which is pissing me off, because the person that's bringing the information to her need to go ahead and lay the shit on the floor and stop using Kenya to get the goddamn backlash of it all. She just put it out there because nobody else wanted to step up to the plate and say nothing about it. But she did. But it's been reported to CPS and DPS, and they ain't did shit about it at all. But now that Naziah is coming up missing, now shit hitting the fan. Now everybody want to scurry around and try and give Kenya the backlash of it and say, oh, you knew. No, she didn't know. Because if she was balls enough to put that shit on Facebook and address Annette by name, if she would have known, she probably would have whooped her goddamn ass right then and there and took all the kids up out there if she would have known. Because that's just how she get down, straight up. She wouldn't allow no shit like that to happen. Not that one. She would have had a whole goddamn squad over there. So she did not know. But she did what she found out from somebody else, who is the source that's reporting shit, knew and know a whole lot more. That's who coming to her.
So y'all, right? You came in the door waving the flag of, hey, we are the extended family.
Yeah.
Right? So there are people that are in the immediate family that are secretly giving us, right?
Yes, the people that's in the immediate family, that know what's going on right now, and that's been knowing what's going on for the past 40 years, is coming to Kenya and giving Kenya the information. And Kenya is the one that put it on Facebook to let it be known. She is talking to them. I don't know if the police have contacted her or not. Probably not, because she don't necessarily have no evidence to give on them. It's just what she's hearing from the immediate family source. My mama, well, that's out. She just putting it out to everybody else in the family because don't nobody else in the family know about it. That's why she putting it on Facebook, to make it aware. Hey, this is what's going on.
Right. Well, so people is looking at it like she's
like she's the one that right, exactly. Like she ain't saying nothing, but she's the one to speak up and put it out there. She don't know that none of this shit is going on. They coming to her and having her get the backlash of it all, because they the one motherfuckers that's hiding behind the curtain. Because they know that she don't give a damn about what nobody got to say, and she getting the backlash of it because they don't want to speak up about it. But them, the ones that's in the immediate family, is the ones that's bringing it to her, and she bringing it to everybody else's attention, like how you are doing, bringing it to everybody else's attention. That they might as well say, oh, well, Mark got something to do with it. They'll say your ass knows something. No, you ain't saying nothing. You know what I'm saying? That's what the scenario is. It's not that she knew what was going on and she ain't reported and she ain't called the police and all of that shit like that. She bringing awareness to the situation. She's only seeing what's being brought to her and what she actually confirmed. And she's telling them, you need to go to the police. We've been telling them, go to the police and say something. The victims that it's been happening to, aside from Naziah, they don't want to go to the goddamn police because they that goddamn scared. We telling them this is the time. We have been telling them this is the time. It don't matter how long ago it happened to you. This is the time for you to come forth and say it. It don't matter how long ago it was. It don't matter if you was a child. It don't matter if you was an adult. If it happened to you by one of these people, by Annette, by Shannon, by Marquita, i.e. Shannon and Marquita are the twins. If they did something to you, this is the time for you to speak up and say it. It doesn't matter how long it's been. Speak up and say something.
Man, the rabbit hole gets deeper, man. What the fuck?
Exactly.
Yeah, man.
That's what that is.
Yeah, I guess you cleared that up pretty, pretty nice.
I had to. I couldn't take it. I couldn't take it no more. Couldn't take it no more. I could not on that one. Not on that one. Y'all not gonna do it on that one. Sorry. Sorry.
Dig that. Well, I appreciate your clarification and your validation in the situation. What you say your name was? V? Something with a V.
Roxy.
Oh no, you Roxy. That was the last caller. Well, yeah.
Yep.
We gonna keep it moving, sister. Like I said, open up the phone lines and see what everybody else got to say. I appreciate you calling in and chiming in on tonight.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So that was Roxy. She's one of the cousins. She's been very, very vocal, okay, about the whole situation from the very, very beginning. Her and Kenya, they are champions, let me tell you. I had this tape. I don't know what happened. Hold on. I got one of the investigators who testified. Let me see. Let me try to load it up another way because it doesn't seem to be loading here. Let me do it like this. Thank you guys for hanging in there. And I know people are going in and out. This is a longer live. And I'm not in the algorithm like that, but this story has got to get out. That's why I want to cover it. And there's so many moving parts. Okay. All right, now we have it. So before we get into the next part of the call, let's hear the investigator's testimony in the trial, in the preliminary trial. Here we go. So investigator testifies in the Neziah Harris case.
Can you state your name for the record, sir?
Derek Wolf.
And what do you do for a living currently?
I work at 36th District Court as a court officer.
And how long have you worked at 36th District Court?
2 months.
And prior to that, where did you work at?
Detroit Public School Police Department.
And how long did you in total work for the Detroit Public Schools?
17 and a half years.
You worked for DPS for 17 and a half years?
Yes.
And how long have you been in law enforcement in total?
39 years.
Before DPS, who did you work for?
I retired from Detroit Police Department.
And what were some of your common roles and responsibilities at the Detroit Public Schools Police Department?
We go to the school. Sometimes we talk to the kids. We take care of the buildings, take care of the principals, we take care of the family, and make sure everybody's by the law.
Oh. And in January of 2024, what was your assignment at the DPS Police Department?
I was assigned to investigations.
And as part of that assignment, does that include going out and taking reports from people who are making police reports to the school police department?
Yes.
Okay. I want to direct your attention to January 10th, 2024. Did you go to J.E. Clark School in Detroit?
Yes.
And what was the reason you went there, sir?
I got sent there by my lieutenant about a missing 13-year-old young lady from the school.
And when you went there, did you speak with someone who was making that report?
Yes.
Who was that person?
I talked to her guardian, her grandmother, which is her guardian.
And is that Annette Harris?
Yes.
And in terms of taking that report, what's that process like? I don't want to go into what anybody said to you, but what information are you looking for to gather to put into your report?
Okay, I'm making a missing report. So I asked Ms. Harris, when's the last time you seen her daughter? Her granddaughter. Description of what she had on. Has she ever been missing before? Does she have a boyfriend? Or she have friends she might go by their house and stay? Things of that sort.
And did you ask Ms. Harris all of those questions and get her answers?
Yes.
And then did you write an actual report?
Yes.
After you write that report, do you have any role in actually investigating to attempting to locate the missing person?
Yes.
Okay, what did you do after writing the report?
After I did the report, I canvassed the area looking for this young lady, although she was gone for at least 24 hours because she was missing the day before. I then from that point, we didn't find anything. So I found out the bus number that she was on. I got the video, and it shows where she got off the bus at Cornwell. And
He said he canvassed the area, not a cure. I was on mute. I apologize. He canvassed the area. I do not believe this man was canvassing nothing, okay? Out of shape and all. He ain't doing nothing but walking to heat up his food at lunch. That's it.
3 miles.
Said Cornwell and 3 miles?
Cornwell, 3 miles.
Okay.
And from that point, like I said, we went to the house, talked to the guardian again, talked to some of the people in the house, and then we went on in and let it go from there.
Sorry, just to be clear, you keep on saying we. Are you doing these things with a partner?
Yes.
And who is that partner?
Dale Gardner.
Okay. Judge, may I approach?
Yes.
I'm approaching with what's already been admitted as People's Exhibit 2. Do you recognize that, sir?
Yes.
And what is that is contained in Exhibit 2?
A school bus.
And is that a still shot from the video that you pulled or that you received?
Yes.
Oh. And that's the bus that you identified that Neziah Harris was on?
Yes.
Oh. May I have one moment, Judge?
Yes.
I have another question.
Okay, cross.
Good afternoon.
Thank you.
Mr. Wolf, you were dispatched to the J. Clark School because you're an investigator for DPS.
I was not dispatched. The lieutenant came to the office and told us to go by the school for the missing.
Okay, so you were requested, your presence was requested at the school.
Yeah, from my lieutenant.
You don't have an office within the school,
No,
so you're not like the school resource officer per se.
no.
Okay. And you said you met with Ms. Annette Harris on the 10th,
Yes.
and that's in January of 2020.
January.
But that was early in the morning.
Around between 11 and 12.
So school was in session at that time.
Yes.
Did you speak with the teacher who was in Neziah's classroom on the 9th of January?
No.
Did you speak with any of Neziah's known friends?
In the investigation, yes.
You did. Who did you speak to?
I can't recall that.
Did you write them in a report?
No, not in this report.
Okay, so you spoke with folks.
What do you mean? First of all, what do you mean you can't recall that? And then when she asked you if you wrote in a report, you said no. This is why. This is a prime example of them failing Neziah, them cutting corners, doing lazy work. Why? Because he doesn't care. He's just there to collect a paycheck. He's not really vested in this. He's just going through the motions just so he can say, oh, I did my job. What do you mean you don't remember who you talked to when it came to her friend group? This is a retired police officer, so he knows protocol. This is important information you are leaving out. And this is the prime example of how the system failed Neziah. This is what the extended family had to deal with. They were reporting it, and CPS and Detroit Police Department simply just did not do their jobs. Why? Because they don't care. And let me tell you, I know for a fact Detroit Police is very, very short-staffed. Okay, they have a shortage of police.
But you didn't record the
Sorry, so I can only imagine what the CPS Child Protective Services system looks like if there's a shortage of police.
their names.
I recorded it probably on my run sheet, but not inside the missing report.
Why wouldn't you put it on your missing report? Make it make sense, people. This is just a prime example of how the system failed Neziah.
And you didn't take statements from anybody
Not a tenant.
ever?
No.
Okay.
He didn't take statements. Are you kidding me? He's a poor excuse for a police officer. He is a poor investigator.
Did you speak with anybody else at the school about Neziah, either on the 10th or any time after that?
Only other chance I talked to the guardian, which is the grandmother, and a couple of students.
A couple.
Yes,
Okay. Do you know how many?
a couple too.
Two. Okay.
A couple too. Why wouldn't you go to her teachers? Why wouldn't you go to the guidance counselor?
Just want to make sure we have the same definition of a couple. And you said you canvassed the area?
Yes.
What area did you canvass?
The 3 Mile area.
One block. Because that's all his heavy behind can't handle. He barely could walk up on the stand. I don't believe he canvassed nothing. If he didn't interview the proper people for the investigation, I doubt he canvassed any area.
We're all around there, checking the alleys, knocking on doors, seeing if we can get some video, doorbell, camera footage, things like that.
3 Mile, is that 3 Mile Drive?
3 Mile in Cornwall, that area.
Okay, and that's where the bus stop was?
Yes,
Where Neziah would have gotten off the bus?
yes.
Anywhere else around the school?
We checked around the schools. We checked on, matter of fact, on her street as well. We didn't find anything.
In her classroom, does she have a locker or a cubby or anything where she stores items?
Hold them all accountable. Yes, Couture Bay. Girl, he canvassed her block.
I can answer that question.
You don't know?
I don't know.
Fair to say then that you didn't check.
I may have, but I can't call right now because it's
Is
been
there
such a long time.
Is there a report that documents whether you did or not?
No.
Okay. And after you did the canvas of the area of 3 Mile Drive in Cornwall, what else did you do?
I went back to the station, advised the lieutenant of what we came up with,
Which was what?
which was I talked to the parent, the grandparent, talked to a couple of students. We didn't find anything from doing our search of the area.
So did you do anything else in regards to investigating?
Of course you didn't find anything because you didn't do anything. He need to be in jail too.
No, I did not.
He need to lose his badge. That's what he need to lose. Because you are not an investigator, sir. You a couch potato. That's exactly what you are.
Because I was getting ready to retire, so I was done.
Okay. I don't have anything further.
You heard him? He was getting ready to retire. He was done. I.e., I don't care. I didn't care enough to go deeper. That's what he just said. He said, I was getting ready to retire. Let me back it up a little bit.
Regards to investigating.
No, I did not, because I was getting ready to retire, so I was done.
Okay. I don't have anything further.
Any redirect?
Very briefly, Judge. How long, you were first notified about this on the 10th, correct?
Yes.
And how long did you stay involved in the investigation?
That day.
Okay, so your activities.
That day, because he was about to retire and he didn't care. He washed his hand. He didn't think nothing of Naziah after that day. He did not care. I'm about to get my pension. It's going to fall on the next person, so I don't care.
That Ms. Quick asked you about contained all happened on the 10th of January.
Yes.
What happened to the investigation after the 10th?
If someone else's investigation would have took over, besides me, because once again I was leaving, but I gave all the information that I had along with my run sheet as well. So
it was passed off to another investigator?
Yeah, it would be. Yeah.
Okay. And then are you aware of what happened after that?
No.
Okay. And you said that on the 10th, your lieutenant came in and asked you to go to J.E. Clark?
Yes.
And who is your lieutenant?
At the time it was George Harris.
Okay. I know you're pretty good.
I just clarification. You said you were leaving. Are you mean leaving DPS or leaving
Yeah,
for the day?
retiring.
Okay, thank you. Any questions based off of my question?
No, Jay.
Okay, you were all done.
Thank God. He don't need to work nowhere else. Just another example of how Naziah was failed, okay? And I feel like this is the best way of me doing this, to break it down, to give everybody context. We're going back when Naziah was first missing. Shout out to 7 Mile podcast. And everybody called in on his podcast, okay? Including Naziah's aunts, Jarvis's baby mama. All right, so let's get back into the podcast. Let me just see where it's at. Hold on one second. Hold on. All right, let me pull this up. I think this is just a regular caller. I'm gonna try to get to Naziah's aunt. Hold on.
These sexual predators that's around these children. I feel like this. All of the parties involved need to be dealt with. And I'll say that, and you know, I won't elaborate on the dealt with part, but this is a damn shame. It really is. It's sad. I hope this baby is found safe. And I hope that everybody involved is dealt with.
Well, I appreciate your call, sister from California. And I can
Thank
feel
you so
your
much.
passion in your voice on this one.
You all have a good evening.
You too, sister. Phone line is still open, 313-723-0481. I know a lot of y'all wanted to call in. Let me make sure the do not disturb is off, and it is because somebody's calling. What's going on? Damn, it is jumping right now. 313. What's going on, caller? Who is this? Where you calling from?
Hello.
Hello.
I promise you I ain't gonna call your line up, but I had to call back because the cousin made me mad. So.
Oh, who's this?
This is Bonita back from Michigan. Yes,
Oh.
yes.
Okay.
So, extended family, and I pray to God that he's listening to this because this is so serious. Extended family or not, y'all all should have said something because immediate family, extended family, all y'all as well should have said something. Y'all are.
I don't ever think I looked this point up. Like, was she on a school bus or was she on a DOT bus, y'all? Which bus was she on? Because that was something that I thought
I
about.
think it was a school bus.
She was on a school bus.
I think that was a school bus, but it's the school system be on bullshit too. They let these kids do whatever they want to do instead of being the adults at the time. No matter, I feel like when kids at school, them 8 hours with them teachers and principals, counselors, y'all are they adults. Us as parents, we end up doing on TV and say nothing about your granddaughter and about your niece.
Who are the twins?
How?
Who are the twins, Roxy?
Shannon and Marquita. Shannon is in here right now. Shannon watching, she ain't saying nothing. And that's the one who she living with. This is the pedophile baby mama that's in here, and she ain't saying nothing. And I tagged her, and she still ain't say nothing. She the one that is her baby daddy that she bought around, that she had around Naziah and all them other kids that's over there. When we found out that he was a pedophile, that's when we put it on blast. When we found out that he was approaching them kids, we put it on blast. We told them to go to the police. We only know what they telling us. They gonna ask us what evidence do you have to stand on. We only know what people coming to us and telling us. We've been putting it out there. It's the immediate family that ain't saying shit. We never stop. We never stop. We've been saying something about this nigga being a motherfucking pedophile. The nigga was a pedophile when he went into jail for fucking a 13-year-old, and then he got out and fucked my cousin, and she was 16 years old when he got her pregnant, and her dumb ass turned around and had 5 kids by him, and a brand new baby that's probably 6 months or a year old or something like that. 5 kids. She was just on Facebook the other day talking about a 100-day countdown. How you backing this nigga up and he a pedophile and he got something and he approaching your niece and your kids and shit? We never took our foot off the gas. Never. They did. We did not. The extended family did not. We never gave up. We've been out looking for her. They taking the shit down. Now all of a sudden she might be deceased. I pray to God that she not. But they been a motherfucker's hide or something. Shannon won't even get on here and say nothing, but she on here looking. And her brother. They've been doing this shit to everybody, whoever kid's been over there. That's why the extended family don't fuck with them like that for real. And when we did start hearing about it and found out that her baby daddy was a pedophile, that's when Kenya stopped fucking with her, and that's when she started putting the shit on Facebook to let it be known. But it have been reported. Because he ain't even supposed to be around kids, period. That shit been reported. And what DPS do? Nothing. They just went over there, they found a nigga over there and told him, oh, you gotta leave. What you mean? Y'all need to arrest this nigga. He ain't even supposed to be around kids. You just gonna tell him he gotta leave? And that's it.
So people are asking questions in the comments. No, Shannon is not the missing girl's mother. Shannon is who? The daughter of the grandmother.
Shannon is the grandmother's daughter. That's what everybody keeps asking who the twins is. That's one of the twins. That's the one that was on the news standing next to Annette with the sunglasses on. Rubbing Annette's ashy ass back. And she ain't here right now and still ain't got nothing to say.
Okay, so Shanna is the one on the right in the purple looking like a broke down Barney. And this is her twin, Marquetta, in the blue. They all look like some broke down Teletubbies show. And you're gonna see throughout the theme of the Jarvis Butts, he has a type. He does have a type.
Oh, well, I just seen her comment. She just said, I'm here and listening.
Yeah, I bet she is. But you ain't saying nothing about your motherfucking baby daddy doing something to this girl. You ain't got nothing to say. Say something. It's your motherfucking niece. How you in here watching and you ain't saying shit, and this your motherfucking niece that's missing and she was in your care. Her mama and her daddy left her in your grandma to you and your grandma's care, and you ain't here, you ain't saying shit. You ain't even fucking defending her or nothing. You ain't said I love you, I miss you, come home, nothing, but you ain't here motherfucking watching. And the family left her in your motherfucking hands, and your ass in here watching. Like you said earlier, all this shit getting on your nerves, right? How your niece missing getting on your nerves, bitch?
I would love, for Shannon to call in. I don't know how I would be able to sift through all of the calls to get to her, man. But I would love for that to happen if it's possible.
Yeah, please do. Say something. Shannon, since you ain't here watching and commenting, shit. The fuck you got to say? This your motherfucking niece, nigga. I'm in here watching. The fuck? You should have been watching your motherfucking niece. But I guess she was busy watching her motherfucking pedophile ass baby daddy fuck my niece. Or fuck my cousin. That's what the fuck she was watching.
Well, like I said, Shannon, if you want to call in, just put in the comments. Just put in the comments. I'll call, and hopefully everybody let the phone line breathe a little bit for you to call. Or Shannon, if you want to text the call-in number that you see on the bottom right hand corner of the screen, I'll send you a call, right? So we can get straight to you if you want to speak. I mean, because there's a lot of people want to call. I got it on do not disturb right now, so people can't get through while the sister is talking. But I would love, and I'm sure a lot of other people want to hear what you got to say as well. So. That's that. So is that all you got to say, sister, Roxy?
Yeah, that's all I got to say right now. I'm gonna keep watching and I might call back.
Right, I know you will. All right, in a minute.
All right.
Yeah. So turn do not disturb off. And like I said, Shannon, if you want to call in, let me know. Mark Devin is saying that he is with Shannon now. Who is Devin? I don't know who Devin is. The phone line is ringing again. Caller, what's happening? Who is this and where you calling from?
This is Shannon from Detroit.
Shannon, what's going on?
Yes.
So you, I don't know how long you've been tuned in, but I'm sure you heard at least the last two callers, and you know the climate of everything. So what is it that you got to say about all of this?
Well, first off, we have, my entire family have been posting flyers, not just on the motherfucking internet. We've been going to stores everywhere, posting. And yes, they have been taking it down, and we've been putting it back up.
Amen.
So therefore, y'all don't call, y'all don't even do shit. First of all, whatever Jarvis did, that was him, not on me. At all. At all.
I beg to differ, because you brought him around knowing what he was capable of. So it is on you. And then you continue to reproduce baby after baby without a promise of marriage or anything. You knew he was out here sleeping around and creating babies everywhere. You knew there were other children being violated. So it is on you, Shannon. It is on you. And I believe you deserve to be in jail with Jarvis.
And yes, that might be my child's father. Yes, I do got 5 kids. Yes, my youngest is 1. Damn sure not desperate. And first of all, Rox, don't ever call me a bitch.
Yo, you are desperate to be with a man that is willing to violate children. You are desperate. Because judging by this picture, I'm sure it ain't a whole lot of people approaching you. And judging by the family history, child, Shannon better stop playing with me. She lucky I'm tired, child.
Because I'm not one. And secondly, I have been doing my part of looking for my niece. So don't ever discredit me at all.
Bitch.
Period.
What? Y'all hear the way she talking? I bet you she was talking to Nasiah like that. She hated Nasiah. I could hear it in her voice. Oops.
All we need to do is, no, the first question is, where's my niece? Where can we find her? That's what we should be doing. Looking. Like we have. So therefore, anything other than finding my niece is irrelevant. That's all I need to know and need to find is my niece. And yes, the bus stop is right on the corner. She can get off the bus and we can see her from the corner.
So why y'all ain't see her this day? All of a sudden. Now you concerned about finding your niece. But y'all wasn't concerned enough when she didn't come home. Why the sense of urgency now? I just find it all naughty girl. I'm telling you, like she is covering up for something. And I really believe that Shannon either participated in this crime or knows a lot more than what she is putting on. Because Shannon,
that's suspicious. That's weird.
Period. It's all suspicious and weird and it's not adding up. And I don't believe in coincidence.
13 years old. A lot of these kids catch the school bus, and get dropped off at a pickup stop. I mean, they drop off and pickup stop every day. Her same routine.
So why weren't you alarmed when her routine was broken? Because you didn't care.
Okay, now, you know, I know you revved up right now. You know what I'm saying? Your name is, you know, in the centerpiece of a lot of shit right now, right? But like I got just a couple of questions that took my mind for you, sister, as far as this, you know, and I know that at the end of the day, in the beginning of the day, we all about you know, finding the veil. That's the point of everything, right? But just I guess just to you know, just to get to know you a little bit. I mean, in the whole situation. Now you said in the beginning, whatever Jarvis did is what you said. Whatever he did, he did. What did you say? How did you say that?
I said whatever he did, that was on him. Those are my correct words.
Okay, that was on him. I was just trying to clear that up. But okay, so with that being like so, but like apparently this man has had a history of this. Like, so did you know about him being on the sex offenders list, or you know, any kind of activity about that? Like, had you even heard of anything like that before out of him?
When I met him when I was 19, he did tell me his background. He did tell me his background. Out and out. He gave me.
She is lying. Number one, the cousin just was on and said that she was pregnant at 16 by Jarvis. Okay. And now she found a backhanded way to try to explain the reason why she decided to be with a pedo. Child, you can't make this stuff up. This is Shannon Harris, Nazia's aunt. Okay? She called into this radio show after Cousins put everything on blast. And she full of shit. Well, after we finish with this part, we're going to get into her testimony, child.
He gave me the decision.
So
I wanted to pursue a relationship.
So given that his background was his background was sex offender involving a child, right? And you still made the decision to talk to him?
One, I was 19, and two, if society can give you a second chance, why can't someone else give you a second chance as well?
I'm sorry, 19-year-olds know not to get involved with pedos. That's no excuse. That's no excuse. Why weren't you disgusted? Why didn't you run right away? Because you're desperate and you have no self-worth and no value. And you was just happy to have this good-looking man all over you. When in all actuality, he was all over everybody. It's clear that he is community peen. I'm going to try to find the text messages that came out about Shannon, the way she and Jarvis used to interact, and when she would find out that he done created another baby. And that also tells me, I know she was mad and jealous of Nazia because she got pregnant. She don't like that. I'm going to try to find the text messages, okay, while y'all listen to this.
I can dig it. Now, now somebody told me that he got married recently. Do you know something about that? He got, I don't know if it was last year or something. He supposed to bought a chicken wing or got married or something. Because you said you had a 1-year-old by him, or that's your youngest baby's by him, right?
All my children is by him.
So did he get? Because I'm just getting what I'm told, right? Did he get married recently or sometime recently?
Pardon?
I said, did he get married like recently, sometime like within the last couple of years or something, or before your last baby was born?
Jarvis is not married.
Oh, okay. I was just, like I said, because there's so much mess. Like I said, going back and forth. I'm hearing that, like, I don't know. He was with you and cheated on you. Got married.
See, she ain't like that. You heard her voice fluctuation change. Jarvis not married. She was just very loud. She don't like when they talk about other women.
In the beginning, whatever Jarvis did is what you said. Whatever he did, he did. How did you say that?
I don't know. Pardon?
I said, did he get married like recently, sometime like within the last couple of years or something, or before your last baby was born?
Jarvis is not married.
Oh, okay. I was just, like I said, because there's so much mess. Like I said, going back and forth. I'm hearing that, like, I don't know. He was with you and cheated on you, got married and had another baby by somebody else, and then got you pregnant again. So I'm just trying to clarify to see exactly what type of person he is, or what type of person we talking about right here. What'd you say?
And all these questions is irrelevant besides just trying to find my niece.
Okay. Well, I guess what you just want to call in and clear up what Roxy was talking about?
No, if you have any questions for me.
I mean, I kind of asked you just one, and you said it was irrelevant. So I mean, but I don't want to. And like I said, I know this is a whole emotional thing. I mean, it's emotional for all of us, and I don't want you to feel like I'm attacking you by no means. But I'm questioning everybody like I have the questions that I've had listening to the story.
You're right, but at the end of the day, the questions that you're asking is irrelevant until finding my niece.
Okay, so I mean, well, let me ask you this. Okay, well, let me ask you this then. I'll just like I ask everybody else. If you could give a shot in the dark, where do you think she is at right now? What do you think happened? What do you think the situation is?
To be honest, I don't know. So I can't answer anything that I don't know because I don't know. I don't have the answer.
Yeah, I mean, I know nobody has a definite answer. I'm just saying, like, in your heart, what do you think happened? I mean, because you know her. I mean, I don't know. Did they say you were the last one to see her that day or whatnot? I mean, you know her, so I mean, you know her friends, people she hang with, what she do on the regular. You said you know her regular routine, so I mean.
Yeah, her regular routine is you go to school, she stay for after school, and then she come home. That's her daily routine. She go to school, come home, or any extracurricular activities. Then she stay at school, but other than that, she comes home.
All right, and I mean, you ain't got no kind of theory. I mean, everybody else that I ask is some type of a some type of conclusion of what they thought may have happened, but you ain't got nothing, huh?
I don't want to think that way, that something happened to my niece, because I don't want to put that in my mind.
I don't mean conclusion as in end. I mean as far as a scenario in which where she's somewhere where y'all can't find her right now. Seeing is that she had, I guess some type of a, she had friends. I'll just say it like that.
All I know is her friends are just saying, and that's I'm just going based off what her friends saying, that she ran away. She told her kids. She told her friends that she was leaving. She was saying goodbye. She was happy, and that's it. And that's it. Like that's it. We asked her friends. We asked people. We asked everyone. We don't know. We don't know, and that's what we are trying to figure out. Where she at? Because I don't know. She could be inside this neighborhood, and I don't know. And we've been looking every day. Every day. They don't think that this is in the pit of my stomach of not knowing where my niece is. She's 13. I pray to God every day.
Now, did she ever have a history of running away, leaving the house?
No, she never ran away.
For a period of time?
No, she never ran away, never went nowhere. Like my mom, yeah, she is strict. My mom's run a tight shift, by 10 by 10. You in school, you do what you're supposed to do, you come home. And then you get ready for the next day. Yes, I want my niece.
I can agree with you, on wanting her to come home safe. It's just so many loops and turnstiles to this story. It's just I just don't know what to say. But I mean, if there's anything else that you want anybody else to know about this whole situation, you got the floor, Shane.
And that's the thing. What the police know and what the news know is what we know, and that's it. We don't know anything. We don't. If the police ask me today to give up my phone, I will willingly.
Now, do you know a sister by the name of Tamara Liberty Smith?
Tamara Liberty Smith.
She's the police commissioner in District 1, I believe.
No.
You don't know Tamara Liberty? Well, she said that she spoke with you and your mother, and she said that y'all said, okay, well, we're not gonna lie, that she has left before.
No, we never talked to anyone besides the police. That's it.
Okay. All right, I'm just reading some of the comments.
Okay.
But all right, like at the end of the day, like I said, I hope she found safe. I hope we bring her home, and I hope this situation raised enough awareness around the city for people to hold people in their family accountable and give them the consequence of the doubt as opposed to the benefit. We're gonna clear this line up, all right, sister?
All right.
Okay. All right, we're gonna get back to the call-in line real quick. So let me see. All right, let me see what this is. What's going on, caller? Who's this? Where you calling from?
Listen, I ain't gonna keep calling back. I'm sorry. This is Nita from Michigan again. I got to come in again. So listen.
Mm-hmm.
Shannon, you said it's not on you what your baby daddy did to your niece. Girl, you knew he was a pedophile. Why is he even around kids? And regardless if they his kids or not, if he's on the registry, that nigga ain't supposed to be around no kids. Period, point blank. That's a violation. Then you don't sound concerned. You sound mad that you're being exposed. Yeah, Nevaeh is missing. And it's really sad that you rather say, excuse my language, dick, rather than find your niece. Tell on your baby daddy. Because in this case, you can get in serious trouble as well in case you didn't know that. Because for one, again, you got kids by him. You say I was 19 and I wanted to give him a chance. Girl, when I tell you my 5-year-old smarter than that, we learned about pedophiles way before 19. You just felt like, oh, this nigga loves me, had kids by him, not knowing he a pedophile. Pedophile now, meaning he has sex with kids, molest kids. So I feel like if he did it to your niece, did he do it to his own fucking kids? Because clearly you're covering up for him. And listen, I'm a blunt motherfucker, so I'm going to speak my piece. You sound delusional. You sound mental. You making excuses for this nigga. It's giving desperate. You're trying to save him instead of giving his ass up. You in denial because clearly you're protecting him. Listen to what the fuck you saying. They need to polygraph your ass. Yeah, you talking about some nigga take your phone? Nigga, you probably got a new phone. At the end of the day, you're lying. You're being very careful with how you're wording shit. Then you sitting up here saying that what you're asking me is irrelevant. Tell me, these questions that's being asked could possibly lead to your niece return. Like you're being too careful. And then some of the questions I noticed, you're rejecting. Oh, it's irrelevant. My main concern is finding her ex, your motherfucking baby daddy. Where the fuck she at? He know. And if she did run away, it's because she's scared and tired of being abused by your baby daddy.
Now I want to say
Like, come
something.
on.
So somebody told me, Lil Bird told me, right? Now I don't know how true it is, right? But I just tried to probe her with a little bit of this information just to see how she, what she had to say to me. But someone told
Right.
me that he took her tax money, on the whole traditional "I'm about to flip your tax money" type of situation, and went and bought another girl a ring and got her pregnant. This was prior to her getting pregnant with that last baby. You know what I'm saying? Now I kind of threw the get married thing in there. You know what I mean? Because the ring was involved. You know what I mean? So she.
Facts, okay. And one of the fiancés, the baby mother, they all testified in the preliminary hearing. Okay. Just to give you a little background on the character of Shannon, one of the cousins came out to tell how Shannon essayed her. And that's why she is okay with being with a man like Jarvis, because she does the same thing. All right. So let's get into the cousin. And I found a snippet. Here we go. This is Nazira's cousin. Here we go.
I just wish I would have been able to help more. That's what I'm saying. I wish I would have been able to be there. I wish I would have been able to take action. I wish I would have still been around. But I was fighting my own demons, and I stayed away from Shannon. I stayed away from Marquita. I stayed away from them because I knew they projected onto me, and I didn't want my kids to even experience that.
You told me when we first talked that she apologized, right? You talked to me when I was talking to you earlier.
Yeah.
You said that it was a half. Like what exactly could have been said to apologize after what kind of apology? What did she say to you that you
I feel like
speak back up a little bit for me?
I feel like we had like a half-ass, like it was around. I don't want to say 20. I might have the years wrong, but I know it was around Thanksgiving, and I don't know if it was around 2022 or 2023. Whatever year that my sister came back to visit, we went over her house. We went over her house, and it just was like a half-ass apology. Basically, we talked about it a little bit in a way, and I was telling her how I was caught doing certain things, and it just was like, "How are you? Cause I'm here for you," but it was never really an apology.
I am I feel enraged. However, I am glad that you listened to what I told you to do. I told you that it was important for you to speak, whether you spoke publicly or privately for you.
So remember earlier, Roxy was saying that it is someone behind the scenes feeding information. I think this is the cousin. This is the cousin.
Your own healing, because that was important for you. And to not let them get off. Because I told you I was coming for them, and I was going to be there for you, and I meant that.
Cause let's tell the truth. I know you was scared. Whatever happened, it happened. Just tell the truth. I know you was scared to raise the kids on your own. I know you was once a victim, but at this point, tell the truth. Tell the truth. I hate it got to this point. I wish you would have got help. I wish you would have got help. They failed you. Help Naziah. If you had any love in your heart, help Naziah. You know what I'm telling you. It's not a lie. I don't feel good saying this. I don't get nothing from this. Nothing. Here. I was believing y'all for a minute. I really wanted to believe you. With that being said, just tell the truth. It's Shannon. We had personal talk as well, and I just wish a lot of things would have came to light sooner. Wish that you wasn't, or things didn't happen to you the way it did. But at the end of the day, you had multiple chances to protect someone that you love, and you failed. And for that, I can't forgive you. And I stopped being around because of the things that happened to me. And you can say what you want. You can feel how you feel. And I love y'all. Y'all know I did. Y'all know how much I love y'all. But at the end of the day, the things that happened to me stopped me from coming around. It stopped me from introducing my kids when I had them. I lost my mother, and in the midst of all of that, I was going insane for real. So I know I was doing right by not bringing my kids into this, but I didn't know nothing about until it was brought to me, and my close family members was telling me that you was in relations with your child father who was a predator. At the end of the day, you knew what he was doing, and you allowed things to go on. And my baby, you know who she is, and I call her my yellow banana baby. You let her come forward and say that something happened to her. You turned right around and said she was doing that for attention. A very close one to me stopped talking to you because of it.
You told me that a family member that shall remain nameless, right? You came to them and told them about what was going on with you, and they held the same narrative that a lot of people are saying about Naziah, like, oh, you're fast, and blamed you for what it is. A family member that shall remain nameless. And that's a whole nother story, because at the end,
That's all too familiar. That's the first thing, especially in the Black community, that they say instead of dealing with the child's trauma and getting her help. Oh, you being fast, and they make the victim the problem, or the make them at fault for what has happened to them. When like, take accountability. You put that child in that situation.
This is once again sibling, and I gotta live with that. But do I want to say your name? No, but you know, you have multiple times to help me. You badgered me, and
she felt so low. I believe she was a bully. I believe she felt so low about herself, Shannon, because of the trauma she experience, she projected it onto her cousins and her family members. Okay? So I just wanted to give context of the type of character of what we're dealing with here. We heard her on that call. No accountability. There's another portion to that call. I'm going to try to pull it up. But for right now, while I get that pulled up, I want to get into Shannon's testimony. Child, get your popcorn. It's about to go down, okay? But Shannon is a liar. She's a liar. Wait, hold on. Maybe I'll do this first. See, Roxy, she kept calling in. She's irrelevant. Hold on one second. Okay. Let's get into this. I want to get into this last part of the call, and then you guys can go check out the full video on his channel. But she calls in again, Shannon, and then we'll get into the testimony.
Heard something in regards to him being inappropriate with a minor in your family. Do you think it would be impossible for that to be true for him to have done what they said that he did, considering that he had already been convicted of doing something like that before?
I'm not putting anything past it. I'm not putting anything past it. But for the ones that saying that I have anything to do with it, I don't. Or accusing me of saying me and him have something to do with her going missing. No, I don't.
Well, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this right quick. Considering, I don't know what his status is as far as whether he's, locked up right now, whether he's free, whether he's there with you, whether he's wherever he's at, right? Considering,
he's been incarcerated since the 7th.
Okay, so considering the allegations at hand surrounding his name, and that it's been, other allegations alleged of him other than this, how do you feel about moving forward with him from this day forward? I mean, I know it's kind of a heavy question considering that you got 5 kids with him. You know what I mean? But is this a situation where he gets out, whenever he gets out, if he gets out, and you are per se by his side the way that you are right now? Are you even in any kind of a way questioning him as a person, his credibility as a person, his credibility as a man at this point?
I'm questioning about the fact that if he alleged did anything with my niece, but for him to come out, it's a pick and choose. It's a pick and choose side. I'm siding with my kids. I have 5 kids. Yes, I have 5 kids with Jarvis. Yes, I do. But I'm here for my kids. I have to protect my kids. Yes, Neziah wasn't protected. I don't.
Y'all heard her. Yes, Neziah wasn't protected. That's out her own mouth. And now she's concerned about protecting her kids. She's still trying to leave the door open for this dirty pedo.
Don't know if he did or not, but I'm not putting anything past it. I'm not. And for the ones that keep saying I'm not sincere, I cry every night and hope and pray my niece do come home. We've been looking and calling around since the
I don't believe her.
night that she didn't come home. My mom reported it. She went straight to the school that morning, and she reported it to the school.
Why didn't she report it to the police? Why not report it to the police? And if something did happen, heinous, y'all gave whoever did this, well, now it's alleged Jarvis Buzz. You gave him enough time to do it in. That's who I believe this is a cover-up.
And the school police did come to our house. Yes, they came to the house. Questioned everything. Questioned us as if she had any.
And that is the testimony I just played of the investigator who did nothing.
Cell phones. She said she didn't have any cell phones because if she did anything that was dumb, my mom will take it, and then she will get it back. but she don't have any cell phones at all. She has a tablet.
which is lies because it's on Twitter. Naziah texts Jarvis and said, "I need another phone." So which one is it?
Somebody just asked me to ask you who lives on Wilshire.
I don't know who stays on Wilshire.
She lying. Jarvis stays on Hillshire. He has to be registered to an address as an offender. Okay. And he can't register at her house. Why? Because there's children there. She's still covering for him.
I don't know who stays on Wilshire.
I guess they said that's one of Jarvis's addresses that they know of.
Well, if it is, that's his address. I don't know who stays on Wilshire at all.
Well, where does he stay as far as where you know? Where does he stay with you?
No, he does not stay with me.
She lying.
Well, yeah, I just.
How did he have access to Naziah?
I mean, I'm just perplexed about it.
She lying because they read the text messages between him and Naziah, which I'll get to another day. But in those text messages, Jarvis texts Naziah like, "Oh, I couldn't see you, so I went in your room and stole your panties." All throughout the text messages, it's him making arrangements. Oh, meet me in the bathroom, meet me in the basement, and things like that. Like, she's lying, and the grandmama a liar too. Okay, hopefully we got time to get to her testimony.
I got so many questions in my mind. I don't know which way to go with it. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I have questions, but I don't want nobody to feel no kind of way as far as like you trying to do this in front of an audience type shit. But there's a lot of questions in my head as far as just a lot of stuff, man. Like, but at the end of the day, the general point is this girl need to get home, man. This girl need to get home. This girl need to get home because somebody got to know something, man. There's too many people pointing the fingers. Too many people that's around this girl that know her regular routine that know something, man. And there's too many backtracks and too many, So do you? So when Tamara Liberty Smith called, you don't recall, saying that that she actually left the house before? You don't remember telling anybody that?
Okay, you talk about the lady. I remember the lady. The lady walked me and my mom to her car. Yes, I do remember the lady, but I don't know her by name, by Tamara.
No, what I'm asking you is, do you remember telling her that at some point of time that she acted that Naziah left the house? Because when I asked you originally, you said that no, she never left the house before. But Tamara commented and said that when she interviewed y'all, you said that she did. She said, I'm not gonna lie to you. She had left the house before. So when she called in and said that,
she would walk up. She would walk up and down the street. Like, she would walk up and down the street. She can only go so far. She would walk up down the street, walk up back and forth down the street. She never left the house, period, out of time. She would walk up and down the street. And if my mom called her and to see where she's at and we can't find her or whatever because she's walking up and down the street, she will come back and say, I was walking up and down the street, but it's not a long period of time at all. So because leaving the house is you going somewhere. Once again, just like I'm saying it. My mom runs a tight ship. Yes. The kids be more in the house because they got the video games and TV. They be outside when they want to go outside. And yes, you will see them, but you will hardly see them because they in the house. They not stuck in the house.
She ran such a tight ship that when Naziah broke her routine, she didn't feel the urgency of reporting it to the police. This, like, you let a liar talk long enough, they reveal their own lies. Okay.
They can go outside. They can go places.
So wait. So is the dude that's there with you? Does he? What's his name? Dave. What was it that was just on the line before you?
Devin.
So
Dave.
he stayed there with you? No.
Oh, me? Do I stay there? No,
yeah,
I don't.
was just wondering because she said that she sees them leaving.
My best friend stays next door, so most of the time I be next door.
Well, okay. So she sees them leaving the house, walking up and down the street from time to time, and sometimes mom have to call her and come back. But you said you don't see them doing nothing but taking the trash out and playing in the backyard.
Yeah, but I never seen them walk up and down the street. Me personally, me. She would maybe come next door, see her brother.
Her own friend just exposed her lie. Period.
That's really it.
All right. Yeah, that's it, man. I just don't know what's more to say about this situation. I just hope that she found, because I don't think the person gonna get shit out of
They all lying. That's why. Okay. So that's all I wanted to share from that live. Shout out to that brother for being on top of this and allowing people to call in, because we piecing together the puzzle. All right. You heard out of Shannon, who is in the purple here on the left, her mouth. She said Neziah was not protected. So that tells me you know more than what you're saying. You were very much aware of what was going on. You were very much aware that she was being violated on a regular basis, but you were too busy being jealous and mad and angry. Okay? And just to put this even in more context, I found audio of what goes on in that house. Somebody shared it on Twitter. Here we go.
Good morning.
Hey,
Get these kids out the way to go.
Let this shade up. Right here. What did these stupid ass kids do that? Why y'all got this world fucked up in front of the door? I know y'all seen it.
Okay? That's the idea of the language.
Y'all saw the rug fucked up, so. What's going on with your coat? You don't know how to zip up your coat? Where your motherfucking coat at?
Right. Get these coats.
This is the loving grandmother that had custody of Neziah. See, I'm gonna put everybody character on blast. People act one way in your face and in public, and it's another thing when they are behind closed doors. Okay, and shout out to whoever got this video. This Facebook live recording from Shannon Harris. Okay, Neziah Harris aunt.
No.
Come here. It's up under that shirt. It's up under that sweatshirt. Is you keeping that in school all day today? Is they gonna let you keep that on? Okay. Let me see. Let me see. This is stainless steel. Get your coat. Morning. You pretty ready to get slapped. Right along with your holders. Outside. It's cold as hell outside. You, wear your coat. And then look at fishes. If you don't take that hoodie off of that motherfucking clothes, I don't give a fuck whether you can fit it or not. You're not walking out of here without a coat on.
Let's go. You need a coat.
And that coat that you wearing ain't yours nowhere. That's the one that was too Ariel broke the zipper on. That's her. Why are you wearing a too small coat? Because she couldn't find her, so she went up there and put that beige. Remember that beige coat that both of them got?
And I get, because Detroit gets cold, I get her concern about having their coats, but do you have to talk to the children in this tone and in this manner? Terrible.
During Christmas time, Ariel broke the zipper on hers. I never had it fixed. She the one that ran upstairs 2 days ago and put it on, which was okay. But of course you can't fit it. It ain't your coat.
But it's time for everybody to say prayer. You too.
Her. All day.
Say good morning. Say good morning, everybody.
Dirty clothes. She ain't got no fucking socks. They take the dirty clothes downstairs. She want to come to me at the last minute and ask me for some socks. I'm telling you, she gonna be leaving out of here. She gonna be barefoot with no damn socks. And whether you gotta go to school like that or not, it's on you. But she caught me at the last minute when I was getting Parker some socks. She knew that she didn't have no motherfucking socks. She knew that. And Parker knew he didn't have no damn socks either.
Better get these kids together in the morning. They know.
So next time your ass
You next. Legend. Say good morning, Legend. Say good morning.
He is too. Funky foot. I was in that room for 40 minutes straightening out my clothes. He didn't come in there not one time to say he needed some socks. Looking at this smack bag. Get you some mismatched socks. So I helped him get some mismatched, so he got mismatched socks. You ready? All right.
Everybody in the circle. Everybody hold hands. That's what we do every morning on the way out the door.
All right, we're gonna let who said it last time?
Porker said it.
How do you pray at the same time you cursing the kids out on the way out the door? Could you imagine starting your day like this?
Prayed yesterday.
Okay, so Brooklyn ain't said it in a while. Did you said it in a while? Well, what about?
I think it's Zephaniah's turn. Legend, shut up. Come on, Zephaniah.
We come to you, Father, in the name of Jesus.
In the name of Jesus.
Saying good morning and thank you.
Saying good morning and thank you.
Thank you for waking us up this morning, Lord.
Thank you for waking us up this
watching over and protecting us.
Watching over and protecting us.
And no weapon shall prosper against us.
And no weapon shall prosper against us.
Prosper. Against us.
Up against.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen, amen, amen. You kids have a good glory.
Okay, so we did hear from Nazira's biological father. They said that the grandmother, Annette, was very much into the Bible and church and everything, which I think it was all cover. So that being said, let's get into Nazira's testimony. Shannon's testimony. What happened to it? And then we'll get into her mom's testimony. Oh, that's not it. All right, this one has both testimonies on it, so let's get into it.
Annette Harris.
And without telling me the exact address, what street did you live on?
Bedford.
And do you have any children?
Yes.
How many kids do you have?
5.
And do all your kids have the same dad?
Yes.
Who's their dad?
Jarvis Butts.
And do you see Jarvis Butts in the photo today?
Yes.
And can you point to him and tell me the color of the clothing that he's wearing?
Green. Blue. Whatever. Green.
Green. You know the record of that?
All right, so this is Shannon, and she looks a lot different from this photo. Looks like she has dropped a lot of weight, and that's probably because of her guilty conscience. She's carrying a load, right? And when you know something that you shouldn't know, and you're covering up for people that you shouldn't cover up for, it affects your physical, it affects your appetite and everything. You could tell she is definitely smaller. I just wish the microphone wasn't in her face. I would like to see her face. Here we go.
Identify the defendant in this case. So reflected. Thank you, Judge. And so your mom's name is Annette. Do you have any sisters?
Yes, 2.
What are their names?
Kenyatta Harris and Marquita Harris.
Are they older, younger, something else?
Oh, Marquita is a twin. She's my twin, same age.
And Kenyatta's older?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any nieces or nephews?
Yes.
Do you know someone named Nazia Harris?
Yes.
What's your relationship to her?
My relationship to her, she is my niece on her aunt.
Okay. And whose daughter is she?
My older sister is Kenyatta Harris.
Okay. And did you have any nicknames for Nazia?
Yes. We all called her Tuda.
And is that Tudea?
Yes.
And did Nazia ever know Jarvis through you?
Yes.
Okay. And when did Nazia and Jarvis first meet?
She was little, like age 2.
And can you kind of describe the relationship between Nazia and Jarvis?
She'll be just the uncle and the niece relationship, no more than that.
How
First of all, y'all know I don't do that play family stuff. That is not her uncle. Y'all are not married. That is your baby daddy. That was not Nazia's uncle. You didn't have enough value in yourself to require marriage. You just were okay with being a baby pill mill. Just popping out babies for this pedo. So I ain't trying to hear that they had an uncle and niece relationship. That wasn't even her uncle biologically. He didn't marry you. Child.
Often would Jarvis be around, like at your house with you?
He will call or say, can he come see the kids? Or the kids will ask him to see their dad, and he will come pull up either to my house where I used to live or at my mother's house.
Would Desire ever be around?
All the kids would be around.
To your knowledge, would Desire ever text Jarvis?
From my knowledge, no, unless I will have her to text.
But to your knowledge, you didn't know of any kind of separate outside relationship?
No.
Would there ever be times where, where did you know Jarvis wants to work?
Pardon?
Where did you know Jarvis wants to work?
Where did I know him to work at?
Yes.
He worked at 2 different locations. The first location would be on East Warren, and the other location would be on Bradford and Connor.
And what were those locations?
Those are the auto repair shop.
Okay. Would you ever know Desire to help Jarvis Fights at the shop?
Yes, he will call me and say, hey, if I can get our daughter and Naziah to come and work up at the shop. And I would say, let me ask my mom first regarding Naziah.
And which daughter of yours would that be?
That would be my oldest, Janiyah.
Would you ever know Naziah to go to Jarvis's shop alone?
No.
And there's the setup. He used that shop and they fed them kids right to him. And she knew exactly what he was capable of. And she was not only allowing her daughter with Jarvis and Naziah to go over there. Okay. Now, during this preliminary hearing, Naziah's cousin, Shannon's niece, testified to witnessing Jarvis having sex with Naziah right in front of him. And he even propositioned her. So you just feeding them kids. Like, why would you send your 2 little girls over to a shop where grown men are to clean up? Are you kidding me? And you know what his charges are. She's disgusting.
Did you know that you can have permanent teeth in just 20?
This is just crazy.
Whose birthday is on or around September 26th?
That's my 4th oldest birthday.
Do you recall a birthday party on September 26th of 2022?
Yes.
Okay. And was Jarvis there?
No.
Okay. And that would have been his son's birthday party?
Yes.
Were there ever times that you would text Jarvis off of a text now number?
Only time I would text Jarvis off a text now number is if my phone is off. Other than that, no.
And do you recall the numbers that you would text Jarvis from?
Yes.
Okay. And does a 586 510 5161 sound familiar?
Yes.
And what number is that?
That used to be my old number.
And is that number that you would text Jarvis from?
Yes.
And what about a 586 842 4504?
That was the number before this number.
Before the 510 number?
Correct.
Okay. And is that a number you would also text Jarvis from?
Correct.
And what number did you have for Jarvis Fox?
The 313-585-8719.
And did you have any numbers for Naziah?
It was a funny looking area code. The area code was a 231.
Okay. I'm going to show you some messages from People's Exhibit 16 and ask you some questions about them, okay?
Okay.
You're going to approach? Yes. I'm going to direct you to messages on or about June 27th of 2023. Do you recall those messages? Did you send any of those messages to Jarvis Butts?
No.
Okay. And do you know, I believe there's a phone number here that's highlighted. Whose phone number do you know that to be?
Jarvis Butts.
Okay. And you don't recall ever sending any of those messages?
No.
Okay. And now I want to direct you to messages from June 28th of 2023. How about any of these? Did you send any of these to Jarvis Butts?
No.
What about any messages from July 2nd, 2023? Did you send any of those messages?
No.
What about messages from August 26th, 2023? Did you send any of those to Jarvis Butts?
I'm sorry, was it 26?
August 26th.
No. These aren't my messages.
Did Jarvis Butts ever tell you that Neziah texted him to meet up on January 9th, 2024?
No.
Did you tell Jarvis Butts about not being able to locate Neziah on January 9th, 2024?
Yes.
And tell me, how did you tell him that?
I called him. He didn't answer. I sent him a message asking him, has he seen Tuda and whereabouts? And I said no Tuda, and he responded back. Oh,
I
wow.
didn't hear what you said. The last part.
Last part I had, I texted him. Well, first I called him. He didn't answer. The second time I sent him a message, still no Tuda. He replied back, oh, wow.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. And you have any other?
Yes.
And just for record references, I'm showing you what's going to be proposed equals exhibit 48. Ms. Harris, those text messages that you just referenced, do you see those on this page?
Yes.
Okay. And so it's fair to say you stated to Mr. Butts, well, first of all, whose phone number is this at the top?
The phone number is my old telephone number.
Okay. And who is the phone number below that?
Jarvis Butts.
Okay. And is this, I guess, do these fairly accurately represent these two messages? 3, 4, 5, 6 messages sent between you and Mr. Butts on January 9th, 2024 to January 11th, 2024.
The first page is, yes, it's correct. Second page, it's correct. Yes.
Okay. And so on January 9th, like you had indicated before, you had stated that you told him that there was still no Tuda.
Correct.
Okay. And you said he responded, oh, wow.
Correct.
Okay. And on January 11th,
Hey, Mox. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correct. Yes, she is lying. And if you go back on the replay, I broke down from when they called into the radio station and Neziah was first missing. And so that we can compare to what she's saying now in his testimony. And I totally believe that she is lying and covering up. I also have an inkling that she has something to do with the disappearance of Neziah. I think she's very jealous. And if you notice, she lost a considerable amount of weight. Why? And I get this is a stressful situation, but it's disgusting. It's disgusting how they allowed this man to prey upon Neziah.
was Neziah still missing?
Yes.
Okay. And did you ask Mr. Butts to do something?
I just acted that she's going to read from the text message just misstated.
No, Judge. These fairly and accurately represent text messages between you and your phone to Jarvis and his phone between, let's start that earlier. Some from December 3rd, 2023 through January 21st of 2024? These fairly accurately represent text messages
Yes.
between your phone to Mr. Butts and his phone?
Yes.
Okay. You're not moved for the admission of People's Proposed Exhibit 48? Check.
Take them a minute.
Thank you, Judge. So on January 11th, did you ask Mr. Butts to do something?
Yes.
And what is it that you asked him to do?
I asked him, can he share the missing flyer on his Facebook page?
Okay. And did you send him a copy of that missing flyer?
Yes.
Okay. And to backtrack just a little bit, on December 3rd, 2023, do you recall sending messages asking Mr. Butts if he needed Neziah for anything?
Oh, yes, I do remember.
Okay. So do you remember this text on the first page of People's Exhibit 48?
Yes, I do remember this message.
Okay. And did you send that message?
Yes.
Okay. And what did the message say?
Tilla said, do you still need her too?
Okay. And do you know what's that referring to?
It was, Tilla had asked me to contact Jarvis to see if he still needed them to clean up.
Okay. And that would be to clean up his shop?
Yes.
Okay. And to fast forward, on January 21st, 2024, you sent some messages to Mr. Butts. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Okay. And can you read these last 3 messages?
These last 3 messages is, to be honest, these messages I sent into the inbox to you, I really don't know what to believe anymore. Stay away, Ramon, I mean it. The next message is, I don't know what to say, or Tilla is gone. Since this shit doesn't sit right with me, call it what you want. I'm good, period. It says, this for life. Nigga, I thought about it, and you can pass it. And don't call me, no need to explain shit. I already see it.
Okay. So you were referencing some messages that you saw in Tada's inbox.
Correct.
Tell me, how did you see some messages? Well, first of all, where these messages, where were they at?
The day of, Officer Gardner came to pick up Neziah's tablet. My mom asked me to put it on the charger. I put it on the charger. Officer Gardner, after that, Officer Gardner called and said she's on her way.
Without saying what?
Okay, I'm sorry. The officer had called and said that they was on their way to come pick up the tablet.
Okay. So
Sustained as far as hearsay.
yes, thank you, Judge. Okay, continue.
So the tablet, before the tablet was picked up, I looked inside Tilla's tablet. She has 2 passwords that I normally know. So one of them is reference for her brother's birthday, and the other one is reference for my password. So I put the first password in, it didn't work. So I put the second password in. So the first thing I went to was Instagram, which I was scrolling. And I seen Jarvis Butts' Instagram page. I clicked on his page, and I seen 2 messages.
Okay. And what were the messages that you saw? Who were they between, first of all?
Neziah, my niece, and Jarvis.
Okay. And what were the messages that you seen?
It was roughly 2 messages that I have seen that I can recall. States.
Objection to this is hearsay. You have not been admitted, and the messages themselves will be the evidence. Were they of any? Were the messages of a sexual nature?
No.
Okay. And you said you saw 2 messages.
Yes.
Okay. Did you see anything else?
It was 2 set pictures, but you can't really make anything out. There wasn't nothing there, but it was a picture was sent.
Okay. What did seeing those messages, what did they cause you to do?
Well, when I seen those messages, I called him and Jarvis Butts.
Okay.
Called him while he was at work. I asked him, what is these messages I seen between you and my niece? And he said, what messages? Said it's 2 particular messages that states out in this picture. And he stated that, I don't know, these messages, I told him what the messages were. And he said it was probably our children was messaging him. And I stated no, because I know how our children will text.
Okay. And reading those messages, is that what caused you to text
Mr. Butts, yes.
Mr. Butts, in that you see the messages in the inbox and you don't really know what to believe anymore?
Correct.
Okay.
Which tells me she knows what went down. That's when she started to realize, like, she knew what went down. It was clear that Neziah was pregnant. And you mean to tell me all those adults never questioned it, who she's sleeping with or anything like that? She full of it. She's a liar.
If you're thinking of going back to school to get a new job so you can earn more, don't do it. You don't need to waste years.
So, Sharon, I want to take you back to January 9th. Were you home that day?
Yes.
Okay. And did you see Neziah that day?
I seen her that morning, correct.
Okay. And do you remember what she was wearing at all?
Her coat and her uniform at the time she had on.
And I just showed y'all what their morning routine was like. Chill. Take all them kids out of their house.
Some blue jeans. I don't really recall the outfit. I just know the coat she had on.
What was the coat that she had on?
She had on, it was a 90s coat with all the characters on it.
Okay. And you recall seeing her wearing that the morning of January 9th?
Correct.
You remember that was already exhibit 2?
Yes.
I'm going to show you people's exhibit 2. Can you tell me, do you recognize a coat in this photo?
Yes.
And whose coat do you recognize that to be?
Nazia's.
Okay. Now, after you
Now, just to put things in perspective, because I'm not going to do, if y'all want me to, I will, but they did testimony breaking down all the evidence, okay? And they did not find that coat. What they did find was like a black hoodie, a spandex jumper type outfit. It was like a bright pink or whatever. And they found blood and things like that on the items. They also found sneakers that were red, black, and white, the Jordan Dunks, I believe they were, right? So which tells me, and shout out to Sean David Way for pointing this out, at some point, I believe Nazia went home. I believe she changed her clothes. And then the whole tablet situation, they found her tablet from school in the house. So, like, it's a lot of inconsistencies and things are not adding up. And I believe Shannon knows what's up.
When you saw Naziah that morning, what did you do the rest of the morning?
Nothing. I was at home with my mom and my 2 children.
And do you ever leave the house at any point that day?
No. I was at the house the whole entire day.
And do you know what time Naziah would normally get home from school?
On certain days, she will stay for after school, and then on certain days, she will come home. The days she will stay for after school is 6. And the days that she don't, is at 3 o'clock.
And on January 9th, do you know if Naziah had the after school program?
Yes. At that time, my mom took her out of the after school program. So she will come home directly at 3 o'clock.
Okay. And were you home at 3 o'clock?
Yes.
And did you see Naziah come home?
No.
Okay. And did you see her come home at all the rest of the night?
No.
Okay. Did you leave at any point?
Why did her grandmother take her out of that after school program? That's what I want to know. Why all of a sudden she had to come out the program? Was it because she was pregnant and they were trying to hide it from the school? So she took her out of the program? Why would she take her out of the program? That's one of the questions I want to know. I wish the prosecutor would ask that. Shoot.
After 3 o'clock?
No.
Okay. Did you, when Naziah didn't come home, did that cause you to experience or feel any type of way?
It did. When she didn't come home is when my mom went to go pick up the other 2 children from the after school program. They knocked on the door and they had asked a question and said,
Sounds like you're saying.
Was it your response or?
A question is a hearsay, technically.
I think she said.
See, the other children were allowed to go to the after school program, but not Naziah. Okay, so why is that? And right, Marks, you are so right, because Naziah had to go clean the shop. Yeah. Hand delivered that baby. You can't tell me they didn't know what was going on.
Just a question?
I'm just getting ready to say a question. Okay,
What was the question?
The 2 children had asked me, Mom said, did Naziah come home?
The hearsay is mom said. Okay, so were you asked directly whether Naziah came home?
So my mom was still in the car. I was inside the house. They was coming to the house, walking up to the door. When I opened the door, they asked me, Mom said, did Naziah come home? I said, no.
And was Naziah home at all?
No.
Okay. And did you do any sort of looking for Naziah that night?
Yes.
What did you do?
I called my friend's sister. I called some of her friends that I know that stays close by. If they had seen Naziah, heard from Naziah and everything. And when I reached out to my sister, she said no. Her friend said no. So after that, I asked my mom, did she want me to call police? She said no, she will take it up in the morning.
Okay? Y'all heard it? She said, her mom said, don't call the police. We'll take it up in the morning. That was the urgency. This was Naziah's caregiver and the people that were responsible for her. They didn't even care that she wasn't home. They didn't sense the urgency of going to the police right away. And that tells me y'all didn't care about that girl. She was just another check in the house. That's it.
Shannon, did you know Desire to have a pair of red and black Nike shoes?
Yes.
And if I showed you a picture of them, would you be able to identify them?
Yes.
We've got these very close. There's a grown woman talking about her mom talking about don't call the police. That's because y'all covering something up. That's all that is. Y'all covering something up, or y'all got something to do with her disappearance. Disgusting.
May I approach? Yes. And for the record, this is going to be from people who posted at 14, and it'll be picture 34. Do you recognize these shoes?
Yes, that's a pair of shoes that my mom bought for her birthday.
Okay, thank you. Now, back on the 9th, you said your mom was going to file a police report in the morning.
Correct.
Okay. Did you go with her to file a police report in the morning?
No, it was my older sister.
Okay. Did you do anything on the 10th as it relates to trying to find Desire?
Yes. We went out. I and some others went out to go get some pictures, made copies. We went to other stores, passed out flyers, and everything that we need to do. Now, what was asked of us to do.
Okay. Since January 9th, 2024, have you seen Desire?
No.
Since January 9th, 2024, have you heard from Desire?
No.
Nothing further this time, Judge. Thank you, Judge.
Ms. Harris, I also have some questions for you. You and Mr. Butts have been, or you've known him for about 12 years?
Correct.
And it's fair to say that you were in a dating relationship with him for most of that time?
Correct.
But towards the end, like last year, it was more off and on. Fair to say?
No, it was on and off for years.
For years, okay. But you had 5 children with him?
Correct.
And this relationship that you had with him, even towards the end when it was on, it was a sexual relationship, right?
Correct.
Sometimes you go to a hotel to have sex with him?
Correct. Yes.
And that hotel was the Park Crest Inn?
Or the SharePoint.
There's more than one?
Multiples, yes.
Okay. But one of them was the Park Crest? Say yes?
Correct.
And is that in Harper Woods?
Correct.
On Harper?
Correct.
Okay. Did you know if Mr. Butts, or do you suspect that Mr. Butts has taken other women to those motels also?
Correct.
You do? I believe you said that you have, of your 5 children with him, 2 are girls?
Yes.
And 3 are boys?
Correct.
And in January of this time, well, January 2023, you were living with your mother on Bedford, correct?
Correct.
Prior to that, were you living in Clinton Township?
Correct.
When did you leave the Clinton Township home and move to the Bedford home?
October 23.
And so there were times when you were in Clinton Township that Mr. Butts would travel out there to see the kids?
Correct.
And then when you moved to the Bedford address, he would go to the Bedford address to see the kids?
Correct.
And then the Bedford address is when Desire was also living there, correct?
Correct.
And I believe you just testified that on January the 9th, you were living at that house? in
Correct.
Bedford, and you were there during the day?
Correct.
And so were you one of the first people that realized that Desire did not come home when she was expected to be home?
Well, I didn't realize it until I had got a question. By the other kids had asked, did I have Desire came home yet, or have I seen her? And I said no.
Do you remember what time that was in the afternoon?
That was in the evening. My mom picked them up 6 o'clock.
So that was about 3 hours later than she normally should have been home?
Correct.
Was that surprising?
Yes, it was. One, we thought that she was at the after-school program, but it didn't dawn on no one until my mom came back to the house and she wasn't here, or she was.
Wait a minute. So now they thought that she was at the after-school program. Didn't she just testify and say that her mom took her out? It can't be both. She is lying right on the stand. She should have been held in contempt of the court. I think charges should be brought against all of these folk.
Wasn't in the car when they had got in the car.
And so when you all realized that she wasn't at school and she wasn't at home, was that surprising?
Yes.
But you didn't go to police that night.
No.
She ever not returned home previously?
No, this is her first time ever doing this.
Did she have friends in the neighborhood that she would go visit?
Yes.
And you said, are those folks that you contacted to ask?
Yes.
It's her first time ever doing this, but the grandmother reported to the police when they finally did go that she was a runaway. These people are liars, y'all.
You were just shown a pair of red and black Nike shoes, right?
Correct.
And you identified those shoes as being Nazia's shoe. Is that correct?
Correct.
It's a shoe that looks like the shoe that Nazia's wearing, correct?
Correct.
You can say for sure that that exact
Yes.
shoe came from Nazia. Is that fair to say?
Correct.
I think you testified that very rarely would you ever use text now to contact Mr. Butts.
Right.
Only if your phone was turned off.
Right.
And that was not very often.
Right.
Would Nazia ever have access to your phone to use it?
Yes, like she would ask, hey, TT, can I see your phone? Sure, I wouldn't mind. Yes.
And so would she text from that phone?
Probably, yes.
Did you ever notice any text from
No.
her on your phone?
No.
Did you ever notice that she had used your Text Now app?
No, the only time when I would notice something is say if me and Jarvis would we won't be on the same page and eye to eye, and I would call him and he said, why you will call me, or like why you continue to keep calling me, and I would say I haven't called you all day or in 2 days. Then I would go ask my kids like, hey, are y'all calling your dad because I haven't called him.
Wix gives you the freedom to tell.
Right there is given that they had a toxic cycle going, and she kept spitting out baby after baby for this pedo, and he did not treat her well, nor did he deserve her body, but her mother never instilled any value into them, so they felt like it was normal and okay to be treated like that by a man.
Tell your story.
Until you looked in Nazia's Instagram account, did you ever notice anything on your phone that caused you to be concerned?
No.
Between Nazia and Mr. Butts?
No.
Mr. Buttsby said would come to the house to see his kids.
Okay.
He would drop them off at the house sometimes. He would take them places.
Yes.
He would pick Janiyah up from there.
Like he depending on like if he will pick up the kids, if I need him to pick up the kids from the pick up or drop off spot for school, he will do that. Yeah.
And then take them either to Lake Township when you lived there or to the Bedford Street address.
Correct.
Okay. But most times he wouldn't even come to the house, right?
He will come to the house. He will call me first before he will come.
Would he come into the house physically or would he sit in his truck outside?
50%. He will sit in the car and wait till the kids come outside, or he will knock on the door.
Okay. Would he be in the house for any length of time?
Only if I'm inside the house.
Like he was visiting with you?
Yes.
Okay.
Look, notice how she had to word it. Only if I'm inside of the house. Girl, why are you allowing this man that has been convicted and did time for violating children? Why is he picking up the kids? Period. Like, this is really how I feel, Naughty Crew, about her.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Period.
So you never knew a time that Mr. Butts would have been alone in the house with Nazia?
No.
Can't think of a time when he would have been in the house and had gone down to the basement with her?
No.
Or any other room in the house alone?
No.
Would Mr. Butts have ever been at that house if another adult, like you or your mother, weren't there?
He will. What you said.
Would Mr. Butts ever be at the house if you or your mother weren't there?
No. It will be me or another person.
She is covering for him. She's lying. She's trying to make it seem like there was always an adult present. And the messages reveal all, Naughty Crew. And tomorrow we're going to get into the messaging. We're going to get into the testimony of Jarvis's sister and his friend and co-shop owner, his testimony. it digs deep. And that's why I really wanted to do this longer live today, because it's just so much to get to. So we're gonna end it at Nazia's grandmother's testimony, but these two ladies are covering up for this predator, and it's disgusting. And I feel like Shannon should have all her kids removed.
The idea that anything was going on between Mr. Butts and Naziah is shocking to you, right?
Correct.
You had no idea.
No.
You never noticed anything between Naziah and Mr. Butts that made you concerned?
No.
You never saw any inappropriate behavior?
Not at all.
You didn't notice Mr. Butts paying any special attention to her?
No.
Certainly, if you had noticed that, that would have caused you concern.
Yeah, it would have raised a whole bunch of red flags.
No, she didn't. She admitted on the call-in show that we reviewed earlier that Naziah was unprotected. She admitted that out of her own mouth.
Likely you wouldn't have invited him into the house, correct?
Correct.
You find it hard to believe even that Mr. Butts would hurt Naziah.
But I won't know. I don't know what he will do if a person's back is up against the wall.
But the thought of that was hard for you, at least at one point, to believe, correct?
Correct.
Now, during the time that you and Mr. Butts were together,
Here she go with the I don't know. I don't know. Anybody could be capable of anything. Girl, you know what your baby daddy is capable of.
had children with other women.
Correct.
Pretty consistently with other women.
Correct.
More than one woman.
Correct.
Some of those women you actually knew about, correct?
Correct.
They lived kind of even in the same neighborhood on the east side.
Correct.
But you suspect that there were women that you didn't know about?
Correct.
Even one that lived, or more than one that lived over on the west side?
Correct.
You believe he was going out there to see somebody around the end of 2023, January 2024?
Correct.
Notice her body language shift when they ask her about other women. She know who she dealing with. She know he community being.
January the 9th, you had a conversation with Naziah about a location on Outer Drive in Belfort?
Yes.
And that was surprising to you, right?
Correct.
That's on the east side of Detroit?
Yes.
Did you end up giving her directions on how to get to that location?
Yes.
Why did you give her directions?
I was just getting out the shower and just getting myself together. She asked me, she said, "Hey, Titi," she said, "where is Belfort and Outer Drive?" And I told her, I said, "You know exactly where Belfort and Outer Drive at?" I said, "Outer Drive is right where the wine basket at." And I said, "You know where Belfort at?" And she was like, "I get Balfour and Bedford mixed up." So I said, "You already know Belfort is before Bedford." So she said, "Okay." She said, "Because we are in school and we are learning about our surroundings." So I said, "Okay." But that was the only two things that she had asked, was where was Outer Drive and Balfour at.
Does that location have any special significance to you?
No.
Do you know anybody at that location?
No, the only thing that I'm used to, I'm familiarized with just picking up Jarvis Outer Drive in Belfort. It's just on the corner.
On the corner?
Mhm.
Not an address?
Not an address.
When was this conversation that you had about that location? Do you recall?
This was right before Naziah went missing.
Like how soon before? Weeks?
Maybe it was still in that same week she went missing.
I was about to have his own vehicle, fair to say?
No, he didn't.
He generally used
His female vehicles.
Did you know Mr. Butts to park at one location and then walk to another, kind of try to remain undetected?
Pretty much, yes.
So would it be not out of the ordinary for you to have to pick him up at a random, or what seemed to be a random location to you?
Correct.
You lived with Naziah for, you said, from about October until January the 9th.
Correct.
So you spent a lot of time around her?
Yes.
You knew her mannerisms?
Yes.
Her demeanor?
Yes.
Her moods?
Yes.
Did anything strike you as out of the ordinary about how she was acting at any point in time in December or January before she disappeared?
No, Naziah, nothing has changed. Her character, none of that. She was just the same old Naziah. Nothing's different.
Naziah's a brother, right?
Yes.
The school said that she was upset and laying on the floor and was requesting to speak with a counselor, but the counselor conveniently wasn't there. She's lying. She's lying. She's lying through her fat teeth.
Your older brother?
Yes.
Now, he had run away in 2023, is that right?
Yes.
Is it something that had bothered her or something that she was dealing with at the time? Could cause a change in her demeanor?
Okay.
So she did have a brother that ran away?
Correct.
And was that something that she struggled with?
She didn't like the fact that her brother was running away. Yeah, she didn't like it.
Around the same time, around the time.
Why was her brother running away? Why do all the children run away from this house? If it's such a loving household, why are children running away? Usually when children run away, they trying to run away from a toxic, volatile environment.
December, January, was her mother supposed to come visit, her biological mother?
Yes.
Did she end up coming to see Nasiah?
Yes.
She did. Did Nasiah seem to have some big emotions about that contact?
Yes.
Just complicated, fair to say?
Yes.
Did she talk to you about that?
All the time.
Did you notice anything? You said you didn't notice anything in a changing mood. So
No.
what about physically?
No.
She's saying there was nothing physically visible about Nasiah that was different. I beg to differ. I take you back to the video that I started the show with. Clearly, Nasiah was full.
Yeah, Shawty gonna bag it up.
Was full. You could tell she's carrying. You could tell her belly was big. You trying to tell me you didn't see nothing physically different about this child? She's a slim child. You gonna tell her she put on some more weight? Her face is fuller. That belly is full. Look at her. You could tell she's pregnant. You gonna tell me you don't know that, or you didn't notice anything physically different about her? You full of it. You full of.
That's suspicious. That's weird.
You could tell Nasiah is pregnant. You could tell. She had a bulge. And I think, if anything, the family was hiding it from the school. This shit is just, I can't stand fucking lies. I'm sorry, not a crew. I can't stand fucking liars. And I think this girl, Shannon, need her ass beat. And so do the mama. And anybody that continue to cover for Jarvis butts. They all need their ass kicked.
I don't have anything else. Thank you.
Redirect. Yes. Did you go to the Park Preston on January 9th, 2024?
No. No.
And fair to say, you knew of Mr. Butts having other females?
Yes.
Okay. And even some that you didn't know about?
Correct.
Okay. So would it be fair to say you don't always know, or you didn't always know what Mr. Butts was doing?
No.
You couldn't just account for his whereabouts every minute of the day?
No.
Did you know him to, one of those cars that you used, did you know him to have a white Escalade type truck?
Correct. Yes.
And you were asking questions about Outer Drive and Balfour. Fair to say, from what I gathered, the only connection you have to that area is Jarvis Butts.
Correct.
Okay, so he's the only one you would associate with that area.
Correct.
And you knew Mr. Butts to have other children?
Correct.
Okay, and you knew him to have clearly gotten other women pregnant?
Correct.
And to your knowledge, were all those women adults?
To my knowledge, yes.
Lying.
Did he, to you, ever hide getting another woman pregnant?
No.
Okay, you are going to testify? Please watch yourself.
Okay, so that is the testimony of Shannon Harris, Nasiah's aunt, also partner and baby maker for Jarvis Butts, the pedo. And what I gather out of this, I feel like she is still covering for Jarvis. I feel like she was jealous of Naziah. I feel like she was very much aware of what was going on between her, Naziah, and Jarvis. Okay. And rather than protect her, she, to me, strikes me as a woman that got angry and made it all Naziah's fault. Oh, you fast. And that's what the cousins spoke to on that panel yesterday. They said that the mother and Shannon will put Naziah down constantly. They always talk about she was fast and stuff like that. And the cousin said it best. She said she only mimicking what she's around. She was taught that. And yes, Katorbe, she didn't want to be pregnant the same time as her niece. Her man is a sicko. Period. They all sick, if you ask me. All right, so let's get into the mama. So it is not as long, okay? Trigger warning, she gonna piss y'all off because she lying too. I think both of these women deserve to be in the cell next to Mr. Butts. Yes. All of them deserve, send them all to jail for the neglect of this child. These broke down Teletubby, Barney wannabes. I'm sorry, their spirit is ugly, if you ask me. I don't like neither one of them. And this stuff is not adding up. And these three are covering for this pedo. And you want to know why they will cover? Because they do the same thing. I just played you the cousin that came out and said Shannon violated her. This is why Shannon don't see no wrong in being with Mr. Butts, because she's a predator too. And I can only imagine what she did to Naziah, especially when she found out that Jarvis was hitting it. It's disgusting. So let's get into the mama testimony. She is supposed to be the guardian, and she had custody signed over to her from Naziah's biological parents, because they both was two deadbeats that didn't want to fight for their child, and they just decided not to be parents anymore, and they put their child in the hands of a predator. Yes, they did. Let's get it. Let's go.
Speak clearly in the mic. You can pick it up and put it in your lap too if you like.
Okay, thank you.
Whenever Mr. Makepeace.
Thank you. Could you state your name for the record?
And then Harris.
And Ms. Harris, do you know someone, or did you know someone by the name of Naziah Harris?
Yes.
And who is Naziah to you?
My granddaughter.
Are you her legal guardian?
Yes, I am.
When did you become her legal guardian?
I adopted Naziah back in 2016.
And that was court work or paperwork filed and all of that to legally adopt her?
Yes, it took a process.
Oh.
Yes.
And back in January of 2024, did Naziah live with you?
Yes.
I don't want to know the specific address, but what street did you live on?
Bedford.
And is that in the city of Detroit, Wayne County?
Yes, it is.
How long had Naziah been living with you at that address in Bedford?
Create attention-grabbing videos with millions of creative assets on Motion Array. Join the biggest global businesses.
Basically, ever since I had her.
Since 2016?
Well, we moved to another house.
Okay, when did you move into the Bedford house?
Let me see. 2019, we moved in that house, and then moved in the house that I am now, which is still in Bedford.
Okay. And did Naziah make those moves with you?
Yes.
And in January of 2024, at that Bedford location, who else lived there?
Just me, the kids. My other daughter lived with me at the other address. But it was just basically me and my kids and Shannon.
And who is Shannon?
My daughter.
And what's her last name?
Harris.
And she lived with you and Naziah and the other kids at the Bedford location?
At the first Bedford location.
Okay.
Yes.
first Bedford location, how many other kids in addition to Nasiah live there?
My other two,
Pay attention to her body language, Naughty Crow. She is lying through her teeth.
my grandson and my other grandchildren.
Okay. So how many kids total in that house?
6, children 6.
And you and Shannon, correct?
Well,
Living there.
Shannon, she was there, but she wasn't really like there all the time.
Okay.
She would spend more majority of her time at my house, but actually Shannon had her place out in Clinton Township.
Notice how she's trying to place Shannon in another location. How convenient. She is lying through her teeth.
And when you were there in January of 24, how old was Nasiah at that time?
January 24th, she had 13. She had birthday in September.
And was she going to school?
Yes, she was.
What school did she attend?
J.E. Clark Preparatory Academy.
And is that also in Detroit?
Yes, it is.
Just generally, can you tell us about your morning routine with the kids, specifically Nasiah, about getting them to school and things like that?
Sure. Okay. 6 a.m. That's when I get the children up. They usually get up, get dressed, prepare themselves. About 7:15, 7:20, we're basically saying prayer and we're loading up in the car. I'm dropping them off at school at 7.
I showed y'all the morning routine right before we got into Shannon's testimony. Okay. Some footage came out.
Good morning.
Hey,
Get these kids out the way to go.
Take this shade up. Right here.
That sound like
one of these stupid ass kids did that. Why y'all got this world fucked up in front of the door? I know y'all seen it.
She muted it. Because you know her mama.
Y'all like that or not, it's on you. But she caught me at the last minute when I was getting Porter some socks. She knew that she didn't have no motherfucking socks. She knew that. And Porter knew he didn't have no damn socks either.
Gotta get these kids together in the morning. They know.
So next time your ass
You next. Legend. Say good morning, Legend. Legend, shut up. Come on, Zephaniah.
We come to you, Father. In the name of Jesus.
In the name of Jesus.
Saying good morning and thank you.
Okay, so that's the prayer routine after they get cursed out and they get sent off to school after hearing their grandmama mouth cursing them out about little thing, a mess, right? A mess. Okay, so come on, Annette.
7:30. Breakfast starts at 7:30, and they like to eat breakfast at school.
And does that?
Don't you think that's crazy? She added that in there. Breakfast start at 7:30, and they like to eat breakfast at school. Well, why you ain't making them breakfast? Shit, cereal don't take long to make.
Include Nasiah, you would drop her off at J.D. Clark.
All together, yes.
Now, I want to talk about. Let me ask it this way: did you know someone by the name of Jarvis Butts?
Yes.
And do you see Mr. Butts in the courtroom today? If you need to stand up and look around.
She killing me. And another person did this too, acting like she don't recognize him. She full of bull, Swinky, not a girl. Can't stand her.
I don't see it.
Do you need glasses?
Yeah, my brother has my glasses.
Okay, Judge, may I take a moment to clear your glasses?
Yes.
Ain't no damn glasses. Don't need no damn glasses, you know. It ain't that far away.
And Ms. Harris, do you recognize the person in that photo?
Yes.
And who is that person?
Jarvis Butts.
And is that the same person you've identified in court here today?
Yes.
And Ms. Harris, how did you know Mr. Butts back in January of 2024?
If you're thinking of quitting your job and starting your own business, but
Of my daughter's children.
And is that daughter Shannon Harris?
Yes.
Okay. How many kids do they have together?
5.
And would he come around your house on Bedford in January or the months leading up to January?
Whenever he did come, he would always pull up in a white truck, and Shannon would go out to the car, and they would sit and talk or whatever. But
she lying. She lying.
He would very rarely come to my house.
She lying. She lying. And the text messages prove that. And we're going to go through that tomorrow on ID Crew.
And during that time when he would come around and sit in his car, was there any times that he would interact with Neziah that you saw?
Not that I remember, no.
Okay. Now I want to talk specifically about
her ass was too busy, drunk, laid out in the bed, high somewhere. Her cousin and the great aunt spoke to that yesterday, how they smoke weed and she let the kids smoke weed and stuff like that. And yeah, no, she not paying attention because she probably don't even get out the bed half the time.
About January 9th. You had described your morning routine with the kids. Did you follow that routine on January 9th?
Yes, I did.
And did that include dropping Neziah off at J.E. Clark, 7:15, 7:30?
Yes.
And can you tell us what she was wearing on January 9th, 2024?
Yes, she was wearing a pair of light powdered blue jeans with a light powdered blue jacket that had the black little fur around the collar. It was like a 2-piece set.
And did you have a sweater on or a shirt on or something?
She had a shirt. She wore a shirt underneath it.
And you remember, did you have any other clothes with her on the 9th when you dropped her off?
She had her little blue sweatshirt with a little hoodie. She had that with her.
And do you know how or when she got that hoodie?
I bought that hoodie for her. I guess it was in the fall sometime. I bought it when I mean, it wasn't nothing new. It was just one of her old hoodie jackets she used when she go to the gym.
Okay. And in terms of, if you know, the condition of that hoodie on the 9th, was it torn, ripped, damaged in any way?
No, it was fairly good. Like, kind of like still new because she took pretty good care of her things.
Okay.
She had that hoodie to cover her belly at school.
May I approach her?
Yes.
We're approaching with People's Proposed Exhibit 12. Ms. Harris, do you recognize what I just handed you?
Yes.
And is that a picture of Neziah?
Yes.
And do you know when that picture was taken?
The same day, January 9th, she took this picture.
Oh, move to admit People's Proposed 12.
Any objection?
Objection.
Do we admit as People's Exhibit 12?
And when you dropped Neziah off at J.E. Clark, what was the routine supposed to be after school was over?
Okay, well, school was over. The bell rings at 2:40. Neziah was due to come home. And normally when the bell rings, 2:40, 2:45, she's getting on the bus.
And was that's what she normally did on other days?
Mm-hmm.
Is that yes?
Yes, I'm sorry.
And what time would she normally arrive back at home?
The Neziah would be walking in through the door maybe 3:05, no later than that.
And on January 9th, did she walk in at 3:05?
No, she did not.
And were you home when she didn't come home?
I was there for a little while, but I left out to run some errands. But no, when I got to the house, she was not there.
And at that time, did you have a conversation with someone else about her not coming home, Neziah not coming home?
Yeah, when I picked my children up from the after school program, I went in and my daughter said,
Objection to what you're saying.
I'll rephrase the question.
Okay, so say.
Just talking about what you saw and heard, and not asking for what anybody said, but did you talk to Shannon, your daughter?
yes, Shannon said she was not there.
Okay. When you got home that day on the 9th, wasn't Neziah there?
No.
And did you eventually make a police report about her missing?
Yes, I did. Yes,
And when did you do that?
That morning when I got to school, I went up and dropped the kids off at school. I talked with the dean and the principal, and I told them that I was on my way to the police station, and they told me that they would call.
Why you ain't go to the police station the night before when she wasn't home by midnight? So at that point, and I'm putting myself in that point in time because they supposedly didn't know what happened to her, who did what to her. You're going to give the person that snatched her a window to get away? It just proves that they did not care about Neziah.
Call the police, and the DPS police came there.
And you said DPS, is that Detroit Public Schools?
Yeah.
And did you talk to an officer at that time at the school?
Yes, I did.
And was that at J.E. Clark physically at that location?
Yes.
And you said that morning, are you talking about the morning of the 10th?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Was Neziah active on social media, if you know?
Well, as far as I know, she was. I mean, there were times that she was sneaking going, you know. Yeah, she was.
Okay. And did you keep track of her social media pages like TikTok or Facebook or anything like that?
I tried. A lot of times, you know, I would take her phone and stuff from her, you know, so, you know, to keep her from being on there, you know.
And after the 9th, did you ever see any posts made by Neziah?
I didn't see any posts. Most of the time, you know, if there was a post or something, or she posts, my daughter or someone would call me and tell me.
Have you ever heard after the 9th, any communication or seen Neziah? When is that a no?
No.
And when you dropped her off on the 9th at school at J.E. Clark, was that the last time you saw her?
Yes.
May I have a moment?
Yes.
I literally had no chin. It was just down here. And I'm like, you know what? Let me do chin and jowls.
Just to follow up, I did forget to ask this. Her bus stop, how far from your house was that in walking distance?
5 minutes.
Do you know where the location that she got dropped off at was, the address or the intersection?
Right there at a 3 Mile Drive in Cornwall.
And that's 5 minutes from your house?
Yeah.
And did Neziah have any nicknames that people called her?
Where her family called her Tutu, but I've always called her Glamorous. I've been calling her ever since she was born.
Say Glamour?
Glamorous.
Oh. May I have a moment?
Yes. You said Tutu?
Tutu. Mm-hmm.
I know this.
Thanks, Ross.
Good morning, Sheriff.
Good morning.
Now, you are Neziah's maternal grandmother, right?
Correct.
You're also her adopted parent, right?
Correct.
And you said you adopted her in 2016?
Yeah, should have been done 16.
Okay. Is her birth mother still around?
She is.
Okay. Does she have a relationship with her?
No.
She doesn't have any type of relationship, no contact with her that you know of?
Well, let me say this. I don't deal with my daughter, so she really didn't have no contact with Neziah like that. She only came around now and then.
Okay. And you testified that you currently stay on Bedford Street?
Yes.
And in fact, I think you testified you lived on 2 houses on Bedford Street.
Correct.
And did Neziah have friends on Bedford Street that you were aware of?
She had friends, but
I know her mama is hitting that pipe hard because I know she feel a tremendous amount of guilt for leaving her baby in that situation. She also was aware, people, of what went on in the house because it happened to her. And she had the nerve to hand over custody to her mama, knowing what happened to her. I'm sorry, I don't feel bad for the mama. And she's sitting up here talking about, oh, I love my child. Not enough. Not enough. You would have been better off setting her up for adoption. But no, what you do, you put her in the same situation that got you on drugs to this day.
Her friends didn't live on Bedford.
Okay. Do you know if she ever had any friends over?
No.
Did she ever spend the night at any of these friends' houses?
No.
And at your prior neighborhood, did she have friends that she may have spent the night over?
No.
You indicated that there are approximately 6 children in the house?
Well, not now. When he asked me about the address,
yes.
I lived at 2 houses, which is on the same street of Bedford. Okay. So the house that we lived in before, it was my children and my daughter's children.
Your daughter being Shannon?
No, Marquita.
Marquita, okay. And did Neziah have any close relationship with any of these children in particular?
She was close with my granddaughter. One of my granddaughters, yeah.
What's your granddaughter is that?
Neziah. I mean, Janiyah. All of their names are similar.
And Janiyah is Shannon's daughter?
Yes.
That would be Jarvis's daughter as well, correct?
Correct.
And at your Bedford Street address, how many adults live there?
Just me and Shannon.
Okay. When did Shannon move?
I'm sorry.
When did Shannon move in to Bedford?
Oh, I guess back in last October or something.
That would be October of 23?
Yeah.
Okay. So in January of 24, she was there, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, is that yes?
Yes. Yes.
And you indicated that Neziah participated in social media?
She did. She did participate in social media. She was on social media a lot of times when she wasn't supposed to be.
Okay. So did you see her post or did you follow her post?
I didn't see her really posting anything. I mean, at times when I did check, I didn't find anything.
Okay.
And most of the time, if she did post something, my daughter's been with, let me know, if she posted something.
So you don't know who her social media friends were?
The only person that I know that was one of her classmates, that she would post little things with one of her little classmates.
Okay. But it's fair to say there are some things you did not know.
Yeah, well, some, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Amazing hits the road with a full tank of gas. Amazing starts at CSL Plasma. Donate plasma today and receive.
Now, you indicated that you drove Desire to school every day, correct?
Correct.
Who else went to school in Desire?
My other two children, Shannon's children.
Okay. And what type of student was Desire?
Desire was a very good student, very manable, very outgoing. She got good grades. Her attendance was good. The teachers had no problem with her. They really liked Desire. Desire got along with just about anybody. She was very likable.
Did she have any disciplinary problems?
No.
Do you recall her ever getting into a fight?
She did.
One fight, more than one fight?
There was a young lady that she had a couple of, consultations with in school. And it was like an ongoing situation.
Okay. And when did this first start?
I'm not quite sure when it started, but it was like off and on, with this particular schoolmate that she had.
And this is for her current school, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, did Desire participate in any extracurricular activities? Was she on band or anything?
She liked it, gym, robotics, art. I mean, she liked a lot of things that she was, involved in,
And would any of these things cause her to have stayed after school?
The only time she stayed after school was when she wanted to be involved in the after school program.
Just one. I just want to step back a moment. We asked you about her social media. You said there were some things that you weren't aware of on social media, correct? Did you ever check her direct messages?
Like I said, I did, but when I did, there was nothing on there.
There was nothing?
No.
Okay. Did you monitor any of her conversations?
Yeah, I would, go check,
Okay.
But like I said, a lot of times, I took Nazia's tablet, from her at one point, so there was really nothing that I knew of that she was on unless she got somebody's cell phone or something,
Okay. So you did mention that she had a tablet. How many devices did she have that allowed her to?
Right, Couture Bay. No tears, no emotion, just sad. And even when she was talking to the news earlier, it was still no emotion. That's because they covering up. They know what happened to Nazia, and it's going to come out in due time.
To connect to social media?
She only had that one tablet that I had bought her. And like I said, I took that tablet and put that tablet up.
So on January 9th, you took her to school, correct?
Correct.
And you said it was her and two of your other children? That went to school?
My two other children and my daughter's children. I dropped them all off.
And you said that you noticed that she did not come home at her normal time?
Correct.
All right. You did not call the police then, correct?
No. Driving around looking for her. My daughter reached out to some of her classmates. I did nothing. And that morning, I got up. And like I said, I went straight to the school. And from there, I was on my way to the police station to make the report. And they called the police from there. DPS police came to the school.
So the first report you made to the police was the next morning?
Yes.
Do you know approximately what time?
I got, school starts at 7:30. So I got there at 7:30. They got there about, I don't know, maybe 8.
So you didn't go to the precinct, you went to the school and the school called police?
Yes, they called the police because I was getting ready to leave. And the dean said no.
You heard that? She didn't go to police. She went to the school. Why didn't you go to the police? Why would you go to the school? Called the police. It's terrible. She didn't care nothing about Nazia.
They hear. She said, we'll call the police.
Okay. Now, you mentioned that you are familiar with Mr. Butts, correct?
I know Mr. Butts.
Okay. And he dated your daughter Shannon, correct?
Correct.
They did have 5 children, correct?
Correct.
And the children, did all the children stay with you and Shannon?
Yeah, but yeah.
Now, I don't want to get too much detail on the kids. What were the mix of the boys and girls?
Can you repeat that?
What were the mix of the kids, boys and girls?
Well, I have a boy and girl, and Shannon has her 3 boys and her 2 girls.
So she had 3 boys and the 2 girls. Okay. And at any time, now I think you did indicate that Mr. Butts would come over, and I think you said he would rarely come in, correct?
Mm-hmm.
But he would come in on occasion, correct?
Not.
That's a lie. That's a complete, utter lie.
Really on occasions, because most of the time when he came in, he would pull up in my driveway, and my daughter would go out to the truck, and a lot of times the kids would go out to the truck. So it was very rare if he ever came in my house.
You know what, Annette? You so full of it, and I can't wait till we go through the text messages tomorrow. Y'all gonna see that she is full of it. Like, at the end of the day,
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
And you indicated that you were close. I'm sorry, you were close with Nasiah?
Yes.
Can you think of any reason that Nasiah would not share information with you?
No. Nasiah would come to me and talk to me all the time. If something was bothering her, or she had a bad day in school, she'll come to me and we'll sit and talk about it. I always kept the door open for communication with Nasiah and with really all of my children. So she always felt free, to come to me and sit down and talk to me about whatever.
So if something was frustrating Nasiah, she would come with you?
She would, that I know of, yes.
Right. If something was scaring Nasiah, she would come to you?
If something was bothering her or she was frustrated about something, she'll come to me and say, hey, man, can I talk to you?
If there was any medical need.
I don't know what happened, Naughty Girl. I was just kicked out of StreamYard. And you right, Couture Bay. She wanted to keep that money. That's what it all come down to. Nasiah was nothing but a check. I don't know what happened. It just kicked me out all of a sudden, but we almost done.
When I would try to go to bed at night, my legs would not let me fall asleep.
If you're having symptoms,
Thank you. I have no further questions.
Ms. Harris, I just have a couple more questions for you. When Mr. Riggins was asking you questions, you said that Mr. Butts would come and sit in his car, right? Outside your house?
Yes.
And you said that the kids would go out to the car.
Yes.
Which kids would go out to the car?
His kids.
Would Nasiah ever go with his kids out to the car?
If Shannon was out there, she would.
And Mr. Riggins also asked you about the tablet that you bought with Nasiah. Do you remember those questions?
Yes.
And when, if you can remember, narrow that down, when did you buy that tablet for her?
I bought that tablet for her one Christmas. I think it was I think it was in 22 when I bought that tablet, at the end of 22 when I bought that tablet for her.
So December of 22?
Yeah, I think when I bought that tablet.
So she would have had that tablet for roughly just over a year then, correct?
Correct. Mm-hmm.
And did Nasiah also have access to a cell phone?
The only cell phone she had access to was one of the cell phones when my oldest daughter came to visit me. She gave to Nasiah, but she could only use it by Wi-Fi.
You said your oldest daughter, is that Nasiah's mother?
Yes.
Okay. And through, what's your oldest daughter's name?
Kenya Harris.
Through Kenya Harris, Nasiah got access to a phone?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
Mr. Reagan also asked you.
Now, remember, Shannon said she did not have a phone. It's crazy. Child.
About Neziah staying after school. You said that there was an after-school program she was involved in?
Yes.
On January 9th, and
But Shannon said that her mama took her out the after school program. Like, these people are just blatantly lying on the stand.
in January
They do not care about the oath.
24, was she still involved in that program?
No, I took her out of it because she was having problems with one of her schoolmates at that time. The same person that he asked me about before that she didn't get.
But she testified earlier and said that she thought Neziah was at the after school program. Why would you think that if you took her out of the program?
The same person Mr. Reagan asked you.
Absolutely.
And so on the 9th, she was not supposed to stay after school.
No, she was supposed to come straight home.
And when she didn't come home, you said that you were driving around looking for her. Correct?
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit more about what efforts you made on the 9th to locate her?
When I went to school to go pick my son and daughter up because they were also in the after school program, picked them up, went back to the house. I thought she was there. And when I got to the house and I found out that she wasn't there, I got back in the car and I went back up to the school. And by that time, nobody was there. Nobody was at the school. So now, I'm kind of like, I'm frustrated. Now I'm going like, because she
ready to curse them MFing kids out. Okay. Just like she said in that video, that's what she was frustrated about. Y'all messing with my money. I can't be losing no kid. That's the other thing. Like, that's why she didn't want nobody to know that she was pregnant. Because how is she going to explain a 13-year-old being pregnant? Make it make sense, people.
Whenever she wants to stay after school or do something, she would always call me. Hey, Nana, can I stay after school? Or she would call one of her TTs. Hey, TT, can I stay after school? So that wasn't like her. So I'm really frustrated now. So now I go back to the house and I'm talking to my daughter, Shannon.
I want to stop you right there because I don't want to go into what anybody else said.
Okay.
But you went back to the school. Nobody was at school. You went back to the house. Neziah's still not there, correct?
Correct.
Did you go back out looking for her after that?
I did.
Where did you go looking?
I was driving around in the neighborhood, everywhere. I'm just looking, just like hoping I'll see her,
And then she went home and went to bed and was able to sleep, even though her baby was missing.
On the 9th, when you were looking for her, well, let me ask it this way. Did you know Neziah to go to Mr. Butts' place of work to assist him with anything there?
Yes, there was a couple of times that she went with his daughter and they went up there to go clean up in the shop.
There we go, cleaning up at the shop again, knowing that this man is a predator. They all need to be charged, Couture Bay. Every last the daughters.
How would they get them?
He would come and pick them up.
And was that in that white truck that you talked about?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And did you yourself know where Mr. Butts worked at?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you know where is that?
It was Frank's shop located on Warren, East Warren.
And is that the last place that you knew him to work, or did you know him to work somewhere else?
I knew him to work there, and then the shop moved to a different location.
Did you know where that new location was?
Look, a man, it just came to me, a man that she did not allow in her house. She allowed Neziah and her other grandchildren to go to the shop and clean up. Make it make sense, people. They are lying.
Personally, no.
Okay. And did you ever, on the 9th, did you ever try and go to Mr. Butts' place of work to look for Neziah?
On the 9th, no.
Ciao. Shout out to Justice is a process for these clippings. I'm going to go ahead and end it there. That's about all I can take, Naughty Crew, at this point. Tomorrow we are going to go through. Y'all let me know if y'all want me to do the evidence one, but the main ones I want to go through the text messages between Jarvis and Neziah, which was very revealing. I want to get into Jarvis's sister's testimony, which was very emotional. And then I also want to do Jarvis's co-owner friend of the shop testimony. He is incarcerated as well. As a result of this, he got violated on his parole. I mean, this stuff goes so deep, Naughty Crew, and new charges are being brought out. It was revealed. Oops. It was revealed that Jarvis, disgusting behind, passed on. Here it is. This is disgusting. Here it is. We'll close the show here. Because this y'all need to understand the character and the level of predator Jarvis Butts is, okay? Shout out to Kyla Janae Legacy, and shout out to Nika Knight. She also talked about this, and it is video footage. I just didn't have time to find it of him catching these charges. But Jarvis Butts was in prison for 9 years for SA. He also gave a 4-year-old the clapper. That's what we call it. It's a STI. All right. The women and the men of that community fell all those children in his life. They not only allowed him around those children, but facilitated it. They all should serve time. And I completely agree with that statement. So I'm going to go ahead and close the show there. Naughty Crew, thank you so much for hanging in there. I know we didn't have a lot of people in the chat, but I'll be live tomorrow evening as well. It won't be as long, I don't think, but we're going to get into some more of the testimony. But I just wanted to kind of correlate what happened then when Neziah was missing to the present day to bring it all together for my Naughty Crew. At the end of the day, hashtag justice for Josiah. And I feel like more charges should be brought, and especially with law enforcement, that investigator that we reviewed the testimony with in CPS. They failed her. They absolutely failed her. So I wish you all good night. Until next time, Naughty Crew, I'm out. 1.